Jose, it says we are live. Everyone who's watching after the fact, hello there. That's hello, Bobby. Hello
What's up,
there.
Bobby? Hey, Bobby.
Hey there, DJ. Very nice
DJ.
guy.
What's up,
Hey
DJ?
there, what's up?
What's up? What's up, fellas?
So pretty much what we're doing here is just hanging out on this Sunday night, and we're going to be talking about the films of 1997. So everything we did back in the day, called the BS Cast, where we're just
Yeah.
going through a year. I made a list, so it'll be like a good film, then a bad film, then a good film and a bad film, and then we'll see what happens next. And just hello to everyone
Hey,
out
the
there.
Shadow. What's up? DJ. We're good, man. How you doing, DJ? Eric.
You there?
What's up?
So let's get right into it. Let's get started. In
Okay.
1997, the first film we're going to talk about, since sadly we lost Ray Liotta recently,
Rest in peace.
Copland. Yes, rest in peace. Copland, absolute classic,
Mm-hmm.
very underrated. Didn't
Indeed.
get the its just desserts when it came out.
It deserved a lot more.
Yeah, it was one of Sylvester Stallone's most
It was just an
underrated-
example of like bad timing. It came out the same year as LA Confidential, and that's a film that really just wound up taking a lot of the accolades and a lot of people's interest, especially when it comes to like the critics. It's not that Copland got bad reviews. It's just that LA Confidential was the one that really caught their eye the most. So that one tended to overshadow Copland, which in my opinion is honestly a better film.
It is.
And Copland, to me,
Hey, Johnny.
it has more of a I don't know if timeless is the right word, but it definitely is a film that for me personally holds up a little bit better than LA Confidential.
Indeed. I always thought LA Confidential was a little overrated. And not that the acting was bad in that. You had a good cast in there, but Stallone's performance as Freddie Hefferton and Harvey
Yeah.
Keitel, to see him up against these heavyweights like De Niro and Harvey Keitel and Robert Patrick was even good.
Mhm.
And of course Ray Liotta. But you're right, it's not a bulletproof vest, Freddie. And I just love
Yeah,
that.
and just Stallone also, this was like a huge role for him in terms of showing his acting muscles.
And
This
plus,
was
he sacrificed his muscles too. He gave
yes,
Yeah, literally. Go on. Sorry.
painful.
yeah. He that's what I was gonna lead into, is that he took an extra risk and gained all this extra weight and played a character who wasn't like the type of character that a lot of people
Italian
knew
flab.
Stallone
Yeah.
for playing.
That's fucked up. Yeah.
But he's deaf. His character is deaf. He's overweight.
Yeah.
Yeah, deaf in one ear. Yeah.
Deaf in one
Yeah.
ear.
Yeah.
And he's also one of those characters that is kind of the butt of the joke at times.
Yeah.
He's considered to be not a badass. He's not, this action hero type kind of character. That's why you have scenes where, Robert De Niro, does the whole memorable moment where he's like, "You had your chance
And
you blew it."
You blew it.
You blew it. And everything, And I love his performance in that, because it feels like Stallone is letting people know, hey guys, I do all these blockbusters, but I got started doing this shit first.
Yeah.
This is my wheelhouse. I know this stuff longer, and he proved it. I mean, he took the pay. Hey, Crimson Ghost, yeah. Hey, Retro
We'll keep
Analog.
going.
Yeah,
We'll keep
sorry,
going.
just say hi to everybody. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
But his performance was top notch, and to me, an actor is very good when you see him. It's like a tennis player or like a boxer. When you see them against someone really good, then that picks up their game. And Stallone is sharing the screen with these guys.
And I
that
thought he
great
outacted
scene-
all of them. I thought he
Yeah.
delivered the best performance in Copland.
Even that scene when he's talking to Harvey Keitel, and he says that great scene where he goes, "I look at this town, I don't like what I see anymore." Like disappointed. Harvey Keitel gives him this whole thing about, "You're a boy who dreams to be a man," all this other nonsense.
Yeah.
And Stallone does a good performance without raising his voice. He's still saying,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go tomorrow, I'm gonna turn him in. And I like that Western motif, because the director who did this, of course, went out to do Logan. I would say this is a little better than Logan.
And he's also doing Indy 5.
Really?
Yeah, James
Wow.
Mangold. Yeah.
Wow. I never thought he'd get Indy 5. Wow.
Yeah, he's doing Indiana Jones 5. Yeah.
Wow. What happened to Spielberg? He retired?
He
Wow.
just decided not to do it, and
Wow.
James Mangold is directing Indy 5 now.
He decided to steal more stuff. Spielberg.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. That means older Indy's gonna kill people with a whip now, right? Go start ripping out people's throats with a whip and everything.
Probably not. And going back to Copland and Stallone, like he wasn't even nominated for an Oscar, if I remember.
He should have got one. He should have got one. Like he deserved it more for Copland than he did for Creed, which all he did in that fucking film was throw up and dance. That's all he did in that Creed film.
He got cancer, flew, and threw up. He
got cancer and threw up.
I thought his performance in a film like Fist was better than his performance in Creed as well.
Yeah. Hell, I'm one of the very few people, I think you guys would agree, he should have got something for Over the Top and Lockup back in the 80s.
I would say Lockup.
I like
Over the Top's really good.
Yeah, performance-wise, yeah.
Yeah.
Plus the movie's great. I mean, in my opinion, I love Over the Top.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it too.
And plus Lockup, you know, man.
I actually got that in 4K recently, Lockup.
All right. Stallone beat up those correction officers' ass in 4K. Read this! And everything. See him kick ass in 4K. That's right. There you go.
And yeah, Copland, I enjoy the Western motif in the finale. I think the whole finale staged very well with the lone man, sort of a take on Outland, and then before that, High Noon, where you're a man against the world. There's no one else to help you.
Speaking of like Outland, that just makes me wish we had like an Outland kind of film with Stallone.
Yeah.
Like in science fiction thriller. He's like a cop. He has to deal with
Judge Dredd.
Not that movie. That's like if we had something like that, but it was good. Didn't have like I knew you to say that.
With don't forget the bad contacts with the blue contact lenses.
Rob Schneider.
Oh god.
I am the law.
Laws. I'm under something. Laws.
This block is under arrest.
Then you have that bling. I know he had it in the comics, but it doesn't work on live action. The bling with the shoulder pad, that didn't look right. I didn't like that bling he had.
You don't like the costume design by what is it? Was it Armani or Versace?
I think Armani.
One of them. It was Armani or Versace.
But too much bling on the shoulders. I know he had that in the comic, but it doesn't work. See, laws. Even he's making fun of it.
No.
Yeah. He's got the armor. I prefer Carl Urban.
I do too. I do as well.
I got the steel book. There you go.
I used to really like the '95 Judge Dredd, but like I can watch it as like a time waster. But like, I'm.
Well, it's a waste of time. You're right.
Yeah, I'm not as big of a fan of it as I used to be. That's for sure.
Fuck that. Oh.
But okay, with Copland, before we move on, why do you think it didn't do well? Because I looked at it and all the assets are there. The characters are well done. The wonderful cast. Old school feel to it.
It's just a case of bad timing. Like LA Confidential came out around the exact same time, and I think it overshadowed it.
I gotta honestly believe that maybe moviegoers or maybe I don't know, critics not so much. Maybe moviegoers were like, Stallone again, because Stallone was doing nonstop films during this time period.
Yeah,
and so maybe they were getting tired of Sly at this point.
Also, I don't think the advertising was the best either, to be perfectly honest. I don't remember that, some of the trailers, some other stuff, like they were okay, but they weren't like anything that really made you go, wow, like I have to go see this movie.
I remember the trailer, because the trailer had the two iconic lines from the movie. Being right is not a bulletproof vest, Freddy. Mm-hmm. Then, of course, I gave you a chance and you blew it.
Yeah.
I think the three of us could do perfect De Niro impressions, but just because of that movie. We could do that shit.
It would be just that one.
Yeah.
That's the only De Niro impression. Like everything else, like, nah.
Yeah. I've been watching Midnight Run lately. I mean, they've been giving a lot on Showtime, and the part where he says, Yeah, I mean the part where he tells Charles Grodin, "I got 2 words for you. Shut the fuck up." He says something like that to Charles Grodin, but he rests in peace though. Yeah, but anyway, I guess what I gotta believe it was because maybe the audience were getting worn out with Sly. But Sly had a better track record, reception to Judge Dredd, than I would say than The Rock, than Vin Diesel has these days, and whatnot. So Stallone I give more leeway to and whatnot. Even Arnold at this point.
I think you got the right idea there, Effrey. But I think another part of it might have been that they just didn't buy Stallone in that kind of role.
Maybe
I think that's the other part too.
It may have been so long, maybe since he done that.
I don't see either of them as the sidekick. I mean, I think they work better as the leads in their own movies.
John Travolta,
plus, they went better to do Broken Arrow.
Rob Schneider. Oh, okay. Okay. I almost thought he was mentioning like D. Snyder for a second.
No.
And I was like,
Judge Dredd, yeah.
He's trying to say, I guess, the John Travolta or Christian Slater will work better as Fergie compared to Rob Schneider.
No, I think the writing still would have been problematic no matter who it was playing that character.
I think what it was, just in general, I don't think you needed a side character like that and whatnot. That's what it is. In the 2012 film, Anderson worked because Anderson was part of the story.
Well, yeah, might as well just had like Diane Lane.
Or Diane Lane, or Hershey. Hershey would have been.
Have Hershey. Hershey be the side character.
Then he could take a bite out of her in the end of the movie. It's Hershey.
But Copland's a classic for those who haven't seen it. At the very least, for everyone with Ray Liotta, they're going to talk about Goodfellas, which is a good movie. But Copland, as well as films like Unlawful Entry, which I know doesn't have a Blu-ray.
Yeah, it needs a Blu-ray. It needs a Blu-ray.
I looked it up. Apparently, it has a Blu-ray like
overseas.
In Germany.
Overseas. Yeah.
That doesn't really count to me.
He also was good in these other 2 films. I don't know if you heard of them, Mike. I was telling Matt about it before. He did this 1996 thriller I really enjoyed called Unforgettable.
Okay, I've heard about that one.
That's a good one. And he did this film. It's a flawed film because of pacing issues, but he was good on the role. 1994 flick No Escape.
Yeah, I mentioned No Escape because I like No Escape. I think he was good in that.
It just has
for years, for some reason, as a kid, I thought it was Stallone, and I don't know why. Like I was just a kid. I don't know why I thought Stallone was in that movie. Maybe the film would have been even better though if Stallone was in that film. But it's still a pretty decent post-apocalyptic action movie. But
is Effrey frozen?
Effrey,
if you do hear us, maybe leave and come back with the link again.
Yeah, try give that a shot.
But yeah, we were talking about
Carbonite.
But yeah, the next one we're going to talk about is Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Well, okay, can you hear us now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, I don't know. I think so. I think my internet did some kind of weird shit or something. Fucking farted or some shit. My internet. I don't know what the fuck going on. I see everything else. I see video gone, and next thing you know, I see 3 of you guys gone. Shit.
Yeah, you were frozen there for a second. It was like
I was.
You were
like
that. You kind of froze. I'm like, wow.
Was that like that? Something like that. What were we talking about? I forgot.
We were just
Ray Liotta from Copland.
Oh, Copland. Okay,
we were talking about Ray Liotta.
Ray Liotta. No Escape. Decent flick. Good. I mean, the acting's not bad. Just my issue with the film is pacing, and the ending was like anticlimactic. That's one thing. But Ray Liotta himself and the role was good.
I've heard he's good in films like Inferno and Phoenix as well.
I saw Phoenix years ago, but I barely remember. I remember once again his performance being good, but the film being a little flawed. Like even as bad, you could say as Turbulence was, Ray Liotta was chewing it up. You may want to phrase again. We're about to get into Mortal Kombat. Yeah, right.
How you doing, John?
Hey, John, what's up? Oh man, be freeze like a fucking fatality.
Speaking of which, when did you guys first see Mortal Kombat Annihilation? Did either see in the theater?
I saw it in the theater. I saw that in the theater in 1997. I dragged my dad to see that movie in the theater, and it was like one of those like forbidden things because my parents didn't want me to go see PG-13.
Love the animalities.
So I'm like,
Friendship.
Dad, take me to see Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Like that year, I also saw Spawn. So I saw Spawn in the theater and Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
What a double feature.
Which is worse to you?
I dragged my dad to see Kazam, which I would say is, I don't know if that's
Kazam as
worse.
well?
Yes, I don't know if Kazam is worse than Mortal Kombat Annihilation, but it's pretty dang close.
So Kazam, Spawn,
Yeah,
and Annihilation. So like, nah, let's not watch any good movies.
Did your dad take you to the movies after those films, or he's like, no, I'm not seeing those movies now?
Yeah, he did.
He did. Okay,
but we also saw stuff like Hulk from 2003. So
okay, all right.
We saw Jurassic Park 3. We didn't.
Okay.
We missed like the first half of it, but I also saw 10,000 BC. Like, and you know. Predators. Like for some reason, like a lot of the time when I would go see something with my dad, we just had like not really a lot of good things to choose from. It's like the best thing is Jurassic Park 3 that I could think of at the time.
But didn't you one time say that you went to you guys went to go see X-Men? No, you went to see X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Yeah.
And that was that whole joke about the Oblivious thing or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember that, but that was
Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Like as a kid, like
unless you had good memories with your father, that's cool. You know, go see the movie, that's cool. But go on.
I didn't know better as a kid. Like when I saw Annihilation, like I was like, there's like bright colors and there's people fighting and whatever. And I didn't really play a whole lot of the games other than the arcade cabinet of the first film. I mean, the first game.
There's a decent soundtrack. Yeah. I don't mind the guy who plays Jax.
Yeah, he's good.
I actually don't care for him. I'm gonna be the odd man out here. Like I don't even really care for him either. I thought
a couple of fights were decent, but it's such a step down from the first one.
Yes, enormous.
Worse special effects somehow. I don't know how they got worse. And just they put everything they tried to at characters, and there's like no story, horrible villain, and
I hate what they did to Johnny Cage. Like what they did to Johnny Cage was just disrespectful, and they might as well have punched me in the balls.
That's why Leighton Ashby didn't come back for good reason. He's like, fuck this shit.
And also, James Remar was a shitty Raiden, like really bad.
Well, let's see. When I first saw the film, I saw it on a VHS tape. It was copied, if I remember correctly. What was else on the videotape? I know I might have had 2 Jackie Chan movies on there. I think First Strike, and I want to say maybe Crime Story, which is not that good of a Jackie Chan movie.
But it's better than Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Yeah, but there's barely any fights in Crime Story. It's like maybe 2-3 little fights, like a serious movie. It's not even connected to police story. It just happens to have story in the title. So I saw Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Okay. When I first saw it the first time, I'm like, it's good, it's dark, I appreciate what they did. Okay, I like the soundtrack to a point. I actually bought the cassette soundtrack, which sadly I don't have anymore. I wish I still had it, because they had great soundtracks in there and whatnot. Good music, just like the first film. Good soundtrack. The CGI is badly dated. Brian Thompson...
It will be glorious.
It will be glorious. It's not glorious. I mean... He's chewing up the scenery. I don't buy him getting the drop on Robin Shaw in a fight scene. I buy more Kerry Tagawa duking it out more with him. Let me ask
you a question, both of you.
Okay.
Why with the sequel, you made Robin Shaw's Liu Kang much more of a wuss, where just the entire film's getting his butt kicked?
I have no idea.
After he wins the tournament in the first movie.
I mean, it's a similar mystery as to why the creators of RoboCop 3 made RoboCop into such a wuss, and RoboCop 3 get knocked out by one grenade to the chest after the previous film featured a battle with Kane where he fell off a fucking skyscraper to the ground and was still coming after Kane.
It's not even a grenade to the chest. It's even that cyborg ninja that kicked his ass. Too.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Knocked him on his ass and
knocked
cut
him on
his
his ass.
off.
Yeah. the disruption of our OCP property.
Yeah.
Some she says or whatever.
That was kind of the death of Robin Shaw.
Police property.
Because
Yeah.
Beverly Hills Ninja, that movie, I think the
Yeah.
same year.
Yeah,
And then other than bit parts, Robin Shaw didn't do anything.
which is sad.
Yeah,
Sad.
it's a shame. I mean, he was
I-
great
I-
in the first Mortal Kombat.
I would love for someday, some way, somehow, if they was able to do a full blown documentary on the whole Mortal Kombat thing, because Robin
Yeah.
Shaw and Lyndon Ashby, they're willing to talk about it because they did an interview I seen where they were actually both hanging out with some guy and they're actually playing the arcade game of Mortal Kombat,
Yeah.
which I thought was pretty fun.
Yeah, so
And
I
what-
would just like to see, you
know,
know, even
I
the
wanna-
legacy.
I want to see a story connected to what happened with this film.
Yeah,
You know, there got to be some interesting backstory behind it. Because even Karate Kid Part 3, which is a similar thing like what happened here, Danielson beat up Chosen. He fight to the death. And all of a sudden, in the next film, he's getting his ass kicked all over the fucking place.
yeah,
And the reason for that was a rush script. Here, is either a rush script. Wild Styles Anderson wanted to come back, but he was doing Event Horizon. The studio didn't want to wait for him, which is too bad. They should have waited for him. But I saw the film. I will admit, part of me back in the day liked it a little bit more than the original, because what they were trying to do. But watching it like a few months ago or about a year ago, I saw it. It has a lot of problems. It has a lot of fucking problems.
that's putting it lightly because I
A lot of
watched
fucking
it
problems.
because I was leading up to the new Mortal Kombat. You know, from what is it, 2020, or was it last year? I forgot exactly.
Last year. That's worse.
2021.
That's a lot worse.
I'm not gonna. I would say Annihilation is worse for me. Like that one is still not great, but I mean the story is better. Even though I don't like Cole, and
Call in.
at least it does have some of the fatalities, and I do like the stuff they do with Sub-Zero and Scorpion. So I like that a lot more than what is going on in Annihilation.
Did you
Now
ever see?
you must die or whatever the fuck that was. That
Had you seen Scorpion's Revenge or not yet?
I haven't seen that one yet. I have it on
Badass. Scorpion's Revenge is badass. I would size it up like this: the original Mortal Kombat movie, Scorpion's Revenge, and Call of the Day. Oh, not even that. I'll say, okay, the original Mortal Kombat movie, Scorpion's Revenge, and the Battle for the Realms. That one that came out last year.
What about that CGI movie that came out around the same time as the first Mortal Kombat? Have you ever seen that thing? Like that is so bad.
CGI movie? I know there was a TV series that TNT did that wasn't too shabby. I know that. That's the one that had Daniel Bernhardt.
Yeah, you mean the live action one? Conquest? Yeah. No, there was an animated series too that was pretty awesome.
That wasn't all that.
Prior to that, this all new animated movie that came out around the same time as the first film, and it was completely CGI and absolute dog shit.
Well, just like this movie blows dog shit. It's absolute hot trash.
Yeah.
It's garbage.
When did you first see it, Matt?
Yeah, when did you first see it, Matt? Curiosity. Did you go to a theater for this too?
VHS.
Same thing. There you go. VHS.
Because I liked the first one, and then I'm like, okay, it's trying to be fast paced with a lot of fights, but then they're not really that well done. At least some of them aren't. And then the others, I don't care about James Remar.
I've seen better fights
better
in episodes of Power Rangers.
James Remar, to be fair, Christopher Lambert is the best rating. I will say that. But James Remar, I didn't mind him. Because I would take James Remar over the fucking block of wood we got last year. That block of wood.
Yeah,
no emotion, just this.
Yeah,
the rating that we had, even in the Battle of the Realms animated movie, was much better. Or there was a 1995 CGI film. I heard of the title, but I don't think I've ever seen that one. The Journey Begins? Okay.
The effects are kind of like a less version of that TV show Reboot.
Mm-hmm.
Really? Wow.
But like even worse.
Really? Oh God! How can it get worse than Reboot? Really?
Wow. It is. It's really bad.
Really bad.
It actually makes the CGI in Annihilation look amazing.
Look like it cost 50 cents.
It might have did. It probably did.
Now, this definitely killed the franchise for a while.
Yep.
I'm sure there was thoughts of the third film.
Of course, that murdered it pretty much. Thankfully, the video games were still going strong, at least for a little while.
Did you rent it, Matt? Did you rent Annihilation?
Yeah, it was at the at that time would have been at the local. Yeah, it would have been at the local grocery store, which they had movies to rent. So I just we were renting movies there because we only had like 4 channels
Yeah.
on TV.
My bet is you were excited until you started watching it, right?
He went from this, and then halfway through the film.
It was very early on when I'm like, that's not Johnny Cage, and then he dies, and I went, well, okay, well, this is a bad start, and then
Just start punching the air. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Because you go from like this, and all of a sudden,
I love the tagline for this movie.
what was the tagline?
Destroy all expectations.
There you go.
We're like
And then
destroy
some.
all copies of this piece of shit movie.
Yeah, that's it.
it
And like,
just,
I don't know, did it need animality though? It didn't need animality.
that was
Animality
the
doesn't work.
dumbest shit.
Might as well have friendship. Have to have someone turn into a polar bear. Friendship.
Or babality, just them turning each other
babality, yeah.
super babies. Super
Oh, there you go.
Baby
That's
Jesus.
it.
Fuck's sake.
Oh god, that was a shit. That was a fucktastrophe.
Dumbass
Oh, God.
bullshit.
Oh,
I don't know who the hell the director was, but I'm sure he's probably a janitor now somewhere.
I think he was like a
Right.
producer or something for stuff or whatever, right?
it might have been the same. Like what happened. It might have been like the same thing. Like the guy who
Was it
directed
John
Spawn.
R. Leonetti? Did he direct it?
The guy who did the effects for who directed Spawn, the live action Spawn. He was an effects guy
Yeah.
that did CGI stuff. Maybe that's what happened. I know Spawn might come up.
Yeah, John R. Leonetti
Yeah.
directed it.
He's an effects person.
No, he is a cinematographer. He did cinematography for the first Mortal Kombat. He
Hey, you want to direct the
cinematography
film?
for The Mask.
Okay.
He did cinematography for Hot Shots Part 2,
I
Child's
didn't
Play
learn
3.
anything.
Yeah, I know.
So
Hey.
after Mortal Kombat 9,
Oh, he also directed Annabelle.
Really? Wow. He's come a long way from that to go to Annabelle. Granted, I haven't seen Annabelle, but I know.
film to another bad.
There you
film.
go. But how many years in the making for that?
He also
that's
did that film Wish Upon.
He hasn't learned a damn thing since.
He knows how to hold the camera. That's it. Just hold the camera. That's it.
And
I
I
don't
guess he
care
did
about the acting.
Butterfly. He did Butterfly Effect 2.
Well, there you go. That's the
All
bad. That's the bad one. The bad one.
Yeah.
There you go. The bad one. Okay. He knows how to keep the camera straight. That's about it.
He has really bad luck with sequels apparently in terms of being a
Maybe he
director
should
because
stop
both of them
doing them,
suck.
I guess the pay is good. Probably. Maybe he's got to pay that rent. Probably.
So next up, we're gonna go to a good movie.
Okay,
the
cool.
very underrated Drive with Mark Dacascos.
Where's the party
Yes.
at? Oh, where's
Finally
the
came
party
out
at?
on Blu-ray from MVD
I gotta
I
get
know
that.
it also has gotten a 4K, I think.
from two
as
people,
well.
88 Films and
Mm-hmm.
MVD might do one. And
Okay.
the 88 Films, at least, it has a pretty cool cover,
Okay.
but same features though.
Okay, that's cool.
But this is a film that came out before Rush Hour.
Better Rush Hour.
Say that again.
To me, I'm sorry. To me, it's better than the Rush Hour films. I know I said it. Don't hit me with the rocks. I know, but
I like Rush Hour 1 too, but I agree with you.
it's better. And I mean, not to take anything away from Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker, but just look at all the shit Mark Dacascos' character does in that whole fucking film. The fights, the moves. It's like you know how Van Damme has Hard Target, and that showcases the martial arts, the action. That's his set piece movie.
Mhm.
This what this does for Mark Dacascos. And we're not alone, because I know Scott Atkins, from what I've seen, doesn't see he does the art of action that he does on his channel. He mentions this film a lot, Drive. So that's his says a lot. And
It's directed by sorry, go ahead.
yeah, director
Steve Wayne directed
Steve
it.
Wang, amazing.
Guy did Diver 2 Dark Hero,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
another underrated film. He
Ah,
was an effects guy who worked on effects
Yeah.
for the Monster Squad and Predator, and it shows he can do a great job. He had like a $3 million budget, and it's all on the screen. Mark worked very well with Kadeem Hardison. He had very solid humor between the two and chemistry, but he had excellent probably you could say one of the closest that a Hong Kong type of movies in a American film,
Yeah,
like that type of Hong Kong action.
yeah.
Drive is also one of those movies that probably would have done better if it was given maybe a wider release or it actually was advertised. It seems like it didn't have a lot of advertising, at least not in a significant way. And so a lot of people weren't even aware that it was even coming out or was even really, a thing.
My first time watching that film is a crazy story. The HBO we used to have in the house back in the day and whatnot, right? They advertised this thing called Friday Night World Premiere. It would really be like straight to video movies that they premiere on HBO sometimes and whatnot. So I saw trailers for this, the promos they had. I looked at good in the promo and I took a risk. I did something crazy. I recorded it on first viewing and I never regretted it. I never regretted it. I wore out that tape on that same VHS tape. I had that movie, I had Broken Arrow, and Face Off.
Oh,
and I'll tell you one thing: between Drive and Broken Arrow, I watched the most. Face Off, I didn't hate, but it's a longer film and it's a little overrated nowadays. But I can still watch Face Off. But I can say Broken Arrow, John Woo's done better films or whatnot. But Drive is just amazing. The fights, the back and forth. I got a bio engine. Yeah, I got one in me too. Yeah, it's a little brown one. You know where I got it? In my ass. It's what he says that. And rest in peace, Brittany Murphy. I never found her character annoying as maybe a lot of people felt. I thought she was cute. I thought she was funny. She bounced off those guys, not literally, but dialogue wise with those guys, a lot fun. But I wish she was in the film more, but her little time there was there, she was fun to see her. The villains were great as well. I like the guy with the mustache who plays Madison. I've used this line a few times, like when some boss guy or somebody comes by. Oh, look, the boss is here. Let's swing our dicks. That's what he says. And plus you got Tracy Walters as his sidekick with his cupcakes. And they watching some kind of weird show. Turn that shit off. It's a fun movie. I mean, fun. I love the banter. I even love the director's cut, the little bit extended scenes between Toby and Malik. And it's a very
Matt, which version do you prefer, theatrical or director's cut?
Director's cut.
A little bit more fights.
Yeah. I think I heard about the film from you guys, I believe.
Really? Oh.
Maybe. I don't know. I have some memory that you guys mentioned and I don't know. Maybe it was a different movie. I'm trying to think. I know there was a movie you two guys mentioned and I saw. I don't know if it was this or if maybe it was Death Machine. Maybe it was Death Machine. I don't know. It
might have been Death Machine.
Yeah. I think it's Death Machine because I don't remember ever mentioning Drive to you.
So
I think you knew about Drive-In before you met me. I think I remember you mentioned that on one of your updates years ago when your first account. I remember.
I was thinking of Death Machine.
Death Machine, I think. Because Death Machine was a movie when I first saw it. Just to get out the topic real quick. Death Machine, I saw it and I was like very low key about it. I'm like, it's good, but I don't know if I should hype this up. It's good. And then when I told you about it, I told Matt about it. And then Matt was like, Matt like, it is very good. Wow, all these tributes you did, everything. And then I saw it again, and shit, it is that good. Wow, it's big. Brad Dourif and the robots and everything. And
that's another one that it would be nice to see that get a wider release. Death Machine. I have a Steelbook Blu-ray.
Steelbook, wow.
Yeah, Steelbook Blu-ray from overseas, a Death Machine, but yeah, it's out of print already, and it didn't get an official release yet. It sounds like something that would probably get something from Vinegar Syndrome or some other company.
They're getting everything, Vinegar Syndrome. Like they should get Death Machine. They're getting everything.
They're doing Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, and that's going to be a huge...
No, they're too busy doing Voyager the Rock Aliens.
Yeah, to be perfectly honest, I almost bought that. I still might buy that.
He's a big Jermaine Jackson fan.
I'm not a big Jermaine Jackson. I just that looks like a film that might be fun to watch in terms of like just a like what the fuck is this kind of thing. Also, it has a feature-length documentary on it, which I'm curious about seeing. Just to be see the story about
because they release a lot of Billy Blank stuff.
Billy Blanks, a lot of Billy Blank stuff.
The Cyber one, whatever it is,
TC 2000.
TC 2000,
No,
yeah.
there's another one like Expect to Die. Or...
Expect No Mercy.
Oh,
I seen that years ago as a kid. I mean, as a cable and whatnot. I remember that one being.
Just doing what a lot of other companies do right now. They just release what they can and what they have the rights to.
not Billy Outbraid, not Tough and
I
Deli.
know.
You want Billy
Yeah.
Brains.
I know. Maybe they don't have the rights to it.
Oh,
Maybe
Back in
they
Business.
for Universal.
Back in Business or somebody, you get that.
Yeah.
Everything.
But
Yeah,
at least Drive did finally get a release in the U.S. from NBD.
Richly deserved.
They did a good job.
Yeah, I got to get my hands on that before it disappears. Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh man, very
So-
classic film. I even love the music at the end.
It's also it's a really fun action film, and it's a damn shame that it didn't really get a lot of acclaim, let alone a lot of eyes on it until home video
And HBO.
Yeah, because if it did get a wider release, maybe if it was like a major studio film, then maybe Mark Dacascos would have more of a bigger career.
That's
Because
true.
I know Double Dragon was terrible, but I don't think it was really his fault. I don't think he should have to shoulder the blame for that.
Well, from what I understand, this was an interview I saw with Sheldon Lettich that he directed Only Strong with Mark Dacascos, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now he was supposed to do press for Only Strong,
Mm-hmm.
but against his agent's wishes, he had to go right away to go film Double Dragon,
Oh yeah,
which was a big mistake, especially for a
Yes.
big studio. This is Fox
Yeah.
we're talking about now. So by him doing that, that fucked everything up in a
Yeah.
sense. Granted, it was one mistake, but I guess some studios they remember that. Wait a minute, he didn't even do press for his own film, but you gave him one.
Mm-hmm.
How many times Seagal fucked up and they gave him a
That's
lot of
how
chances?
petty. That's how petty the industry is. Like
Yeah.
that,
One time, one little
bad.
shit, one little fucking shit. But meanwhile, Seagal kept on shitting the bed a lot, and and all the bullshit, slap on the wrist, whatnot. It's crazy. Oh yeah, what about that thing about going back to Drive about was it Kadeem Hardison that said something that Brett Ratner saw him at an event?
Yeah.
he saw. Brett Ratner saw him, and Brett Ratner said, "Man, if your film had released, theatrical, and we probably wouldn't have been able to get our movie made because it would have just been the same movie."
Yeah.
Yeah, indeed.
Guy and a black guy, and and you know what I mean. Sally never did. It just never had the chance.
Yeah.
At least the Costco's did get a little bit of redemption, not Kickboxer 5.
Yeah.
Even though that's called redemption,
Yeah.
he did get a little bit of redemption with John Wick. With chapter 3.
He was fun as your villain. And everything like that. You stopped? I wouldn't have stopped. When he told that to Keanu Reeves, I wouldn't have stopped. I like that psychopath type of thing. And then later on,
Yeah.
I'm so your biggest fan. I like that.
But yeah, Drive is definitely one of the better, more underrated films.
It is.
And for all those out there who've never seen it, if you like martial arts, you like fast pace,
It's a must see.
It is.
Absolutely.
Yeah, if you got people like Scott Adkins vouching for it, I think even Lauren Avedon is a fan of the film and whatnot, because he had Lauren Avedon in one of his Art of Action.
Speaking of Avedon, like King of the Kickboxers, like where is that release on Blu-ray?
Yeah. I mean, those guys are regarding Drive at a high spot. That says a lot. And such and everything like that. Yeah.
So with that, we're going to go to another bad one. I'm actually going to pit this one.
Go for it.
Because it's Alien Resurrection.
Ooh, the
fuck
first
inside
film
me?
that my mom and my stepdad saw, like that was their first date. Their first date was Alien Resurrection. My mom and my stepdad. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, that's great.
How that date turned out?
It turned out okay because they're still together. So I mean, I guess
It's better than my Maniac date. There you go. Came out better than that. Oh god. Oh shit.
I used to like this film more than I do now because I hated Alien 3 so much, and it was just boring and depressing and just lame. And I guess because I hated Alien 3 so much, like I gave Alien Resurrection a pass.
That same thing happened to me. I I put it a little bit high over Alien 3, but then revisiting it as an adult years later, I seen a lot of trouble, and I can see why no one liked the film, because I'm like, that's not Ripley, you know. No matter how many times you rewatch it, you keep saying to yourself, that's not Ripley. And I know there was problems behind the scenes with Josh Whedon because he claims they fucked around with his script. But if you look at his script in this film and what he would do a few years later with Firefly, Firefly is what he pretty much wanted to do. Scavengers in space, dealing with a creature. That's what he wanted to do in a sense, you know. But at the end of the day,
there's some interesting ideas like the alien human hybrids, but then that just reminds me of the script that they did use for Alien 3 by William Gibson.
Underrated script. That should have been the movie we got. That should have been the film. Some way, somehow, someone's gonna pay.
They could have used that script for Alien Resurrection. They could have retooled some things, had different characters. You know, you could have new characters.
Especially the flesh alien, the flesh color aliens. That would have been interesting to see. Body horror. What is it? 5 firefights they had planned?
Yeah.
0G firefights?
Yeah. 2 0G firefights. I think.
Yeah.
Not all of them were in 0G.
A king alien. A king alien.
There was a 0G firefight with an alien queen as well. So yeah.
It would have been badass, but no, we can't get that.
It's too much like Aliens. And then Alien Resurrection...
That's a bad thing. That's a bad thing.
It's not necessarily too much like Aliens. It's not necessarily... I will give it that. I will say that it at least did try to kind of be its own thing. I don't think it really succeeded that well, but at least it did try to do its own thing. I think the director was just the wrong choice. He was too much of an art house guy. I don't think he was the right guy for the job at all.
Yeah, and plus the whole thing with the original design of the hybrid, how he wanted the hybrid to be a transgender thing, where
it was weird.
Dragon balls or something. And there's pictures of it, which I saw that like, I don't know, man. Nothing against anyone transgender, nothing against that, but just.
And then it doesn't help either that everything looks like it's covered in shit. I don't know if that was the director. I don't know if that was the director's choice or the cinematographer or whoever.
I think the editor got mad when he saw this film. He had to edit it. He peed on the film. The editor, the guy in the editing room, he went shh. He tried a couple of beers.
On it.
He peed on it, and then put it left and right there. It's ready. That's it.
Just like the manager at one of my local Arby's who peed in the shakes. Apparently, peed in the shake machine.
No.
Yeah.
They caught his ass, right? Oh shit!
Yeah, he got fired. It was like months ago, but
that's terrible, man.
Yeah.
Oh.
Great storytelling, yeah.
Oh, great.
But Alien Resurrection, the fact that Sigourney Weaver doesn't want to make it anymore, but then comes back for this because of the paycheck.
Yeah.
And then
plus, after Alien 3, she had really nothing to do.
Well, it was her fault. Like a big reason why Alien 3 turned out as bad as it did is a lot of ways due to Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want any guns to be in the movie, and I want to die. That's all her.
That's one of the reasons I have to believe when I saw her in one of the reunions they had for Aliens a few years ago. I think the one they had in Canada, the real big one.
Mm-hmm.
You see a sense a little bit of guilt in her face a little bit when she sees how people talk about Alien 3 and everything. She knows she's to blame.
She wanted it. That's why she wanted to do Neil Blomkamp's Alien 5.
She knows.
I think that's why she wanted to do that.
That's one of the reasons when she did Paul, guess what? She has a gun.
Uh-huh.
Meanwhile, I hated
she
guns.
was a hypocrite anyway. Because pretty soon after Alien 3, she did this film, a year later, called Death and the Maiden, and the poster has her holding a fucking gun.
Yeah. Yeah, gun.
So she does all that, and then to do this for the paycheck, and then you have a terrible Winona Ryder. She's terrible in it.
Yeah.
As Call the android.
Yeah, who's very human-like, but not really.
And it doesn't help with like the cast, like Ron Perlman and so on. But there's no one in the cast where you're like, I really like this character, or I really like this performance.
I would say there's maybe 3 characters I didn't mind.
Yeah, you don't mind them, but they're not on par with Hicks
of course not.
or Hudson or Vasquez.
Yeah, of course not. Those are the bosses. Okay, Parker, Brett, Hicks, Hudson, Vasquez, Drake, Apone. Those are the boss. Those are the goats. Those are the goats, the greatest of all time. Okay, those are the best. These they were serviceable because I liked the Michael Wincott. I didn't mind Ron Perlman. I didn't mind the black guy with the dreads who had the little guns. I didn't mind him. And that's about it.
Yeah.
Because the guy with the wheelchair, no.
Yeah.
I didn't care for the girl who wants her feet massaged. She dies. Goodbye. I didn't care for her.
What about Brad Dourif, who played a scientist who wants to fuck the alien?
No, he's teasing aliens. He wants to. It's in you. Very over the top performance.
Yeah.
Very over the top. Very bad.
I honestly thought it was one of Brad Dourif's worst performances.
It is. And then he's covered in shit. When you see him when he dies later, he's covered like in that cocoon thing. Look like shit is on him like this. It's in you. He wants to live. Just bad. It was bad decision. They tried to make up for Alien 3 and it did.
And then like the fact that they're trying to be over ambitious with the CGI with the underwater stuff. Like I don't know why they had CGI aliens.
Yeah.
Because CGI was a growing thing at that time because of they thought that was they still think it's a new wave of filmmaking, but definitely then they thought, well, this is
I think it really comes back down to Jean-Pierre Jeunet. Like it's just not the right guy to do an Alien sequel. And any time you had an action sequence, that was painfully evident because they just didn't have any adrenaline. There was no real punch to any of these scenes.
And plus, I didn't like the idea that the aliens all of a sudden now could dodge bullets. That bothered me. I didn't like that. Especially that scene with the ladder. All of a sudden, now it can dodge bullets. It didn't do that with the pulse rifles. Now
all of a sudden it can spit acid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't spit acid before.
Well, I mean, it would if they explained it like, we combine. See, there's ideas that I don't know, Efrey, if you remember the Kenner toy line for like Aliens toys.
Oh, the one that had Alien versus Predator. They had the Atex. They had these other characters.
The toys, like they had hybrids. So you're like a praying mantis alien or a bull alien or whatever. So you could have done like a hybrid thing. That's what they were doing anyway. So then it would make sense. Oh, it spits acid because it's combined with a spitting cobra or something. Like, I mean, there's all these things that you could have done to explain why these aliens have these extra abilities creatively. Yeah. But the script just doesn't do that. It just has them randomly have these abilities.
Even in the video games, like there was an arcade game that Matt did a Let's Play with one time. Remember this one, Matt? Where it was an Aliens arcade game where Ripley was blonde for some reason, and they had weird looking xenomorphs.
They didn't have the rights to her likeness, her or Hicks likeness.
Yeah, but they did. But you remember the creatures, the way they looked? They looked very different, very unique. They could do stuff like that. There was video games like the PC.
Or like Alien 3: The Gun. Like there were different aliens in that too.
They could have. The sky was the limit.
I still find that to be hilarious. I like that game.
But it has a downbeat ending like the movie.
I played it in.
That's sad about it. It has a downbeat ending.
Yeah. But at the same time, it's still better than the movie because
it's shooting in it. It's shooting.
which is ridiculous. Like I still find that hilarious that there's an Alien 3 arcade game and the subtitle is The Gun. That's the whole big selling point is that you got this big ass fucking gun and the movie has no guns.
Like even the fucking Sega Genesis game that Matt did play that. I remember playing that back in the day. That had a fucking
Super Nintendo game has guns and flamethrowers.
Same thing, Same thing with Sega Genesis. It had a pulse rifle. And when I heard it was a director's cut, I said, first thing I thought was, it better be a scene with a pulse rifle in there. No, it's some bullshit about a fucking crazy prisoner who let the alien out. Ooh.
Yeah.
Big fucking deal. Wow.
Alien Resurrection sucks. But I would probably still say I'd rather watch it over Alien because it doesn't piss me off as much. But at the same time, it's still very frustrating because you had an opportunity to make up for. You
had your chance, you blew it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. Well put.
Nero.
Well put.
Yeah.
That's
You
right.
had your chance, and
They
you
blew it. And first off, does it really matter we have a clone, a Ripley in there? To be honest,
No.
does it? No, it doesn't.
No.
You could have easily like one time, like I said, Steel Full Matt said. I mean, you could have made it look like Alien 3 was a nightmare. She
Yeah.
could have still been in a hypersleep.
They should have never killed off Newt. Then
That
you
was
could
a
just have
mistake.
Newt carry on, and it would take place multiple years in the future, and Newt's
Yeah.
an adult or whatever.
Yeah, that character that Winona Ryder plays, it didn't have to be a android or artificial
No.
person. It could have just been Newt. She's with these scavengers now.
Yeah.
That would have been it. Then it would have connected much better. And whatnot. But it's a fuck fest. It's a shit fest. Pretty much is. A bad fuck fest with everybody has
In the alien human hybrid, like I don't know why they tried to do this whole sympathy angle either for that thing. Yeah.
And he goes to the airlock again.
With the chupacabra albino.
Chupacabra. I was about to say that. Chupacabra.
Looking motherfucker.
Fuck face. Fuck face. Chupacabra fuck face. Yeah.
Yeah.
God. Terrible sequel. Another nail in the coffin for the franchise.
Yeah. But sadly,
I want to ask this to you two guys. Like, yeah, Alien Resurrection is bad, but would you take it over Prometheus or Covenant or Alien vs Predator?
I would take my chances with the AVP films, sadly, over Prometheus, over this, and over, of course, the worst one, Alien Coming shit and whatnot. Because AVP, I mean, both films have a shitload of fucking problems. AVPR, you can't see anything; it's dark. Even in HD, you still can't see shit.
Yeah, no, yeah.
And first AVP, if you fast forward to the fucking fights when the alien and Predator fight each other, then
That's another one I saw in the theater.
I saw that in the theater too. Yeah, matter of fact, I saw both AVP in the theater, and that was a movie I was tricking myself. It's great, it's great, it's great. And then I saw it and I got home and it's not really that great. What was I talking about? Psyching myself out. No, it's not that great. God,
I guess I would. Yeah, I would take AVPR over.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you got the other rating going for it.
Resurrection, I guess I would take over AVP1 and Prometheus and Covenant. Because AVP1, that's just such a... You drop the ball so hard.
Yeah.
It's like, here's an easy layup. You can easily dunk it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Well,
miss
Alien
it,
Resurrection
and
is a
you
similar
hit a woman
thing,
in
too.
the face.
Yeah.
And you for $1 million.
Yeah. Because at the same time, you had other Dark Horse stories and Dark Horse comics storylines that could have adapted for Resurrection. They could have done that too.
Yeah.
And they just didn't.
As I don't understand, the writing is on the wall. All these stories of Dark Horse in video games and comics.
Yes.
You could take a lot of that.
Yeah.
I want a Jon Favreau type of director. Like what Jon Favreau did with Mandalorian, how he brought back the classic of Star Wars.
We'll see.
That's John Pierre Judet.
Yeah, the director's calling to yell at me. I gotta take this. I'm right back, guys.
No problem.
No problem.
But yeah, with the Dark Horse stuff, I mean, and Fox had the rights for those at the time, so they could have done anything. They could have adapted any storyline, and those comics and the novels, they have shown that you can have a successful, solid alien story, within the Alien universe, without Ripley, without some of these other established characters, so you can keep the franchise going. But they just kept bringing back all these, legacy characters. And then you do the prequel series, which, that's just, that's a whole other thing.
Yeah, just a lot of wasted potential, and they just zero talent or zero common sense.
Same thing with Predator. Like the Alien and Predator franchises. It's the exact same fucking thing. It's like just... take a page from Dark Horse, god damn it. It's right fucking there.
They don't know how to read, maybe. I don't know.
It's like you could do like alright. Let's see if it like
Alien Resurrection is just a joke. But again, after Aliens, the whole franchise became a joke. Like a lot of franchises do.
Mm-hmm.
And the cast wasn't really that great of characters.
They're gonna do stuff like, Alien Harvest, or this is book 2 of the Alien series, which acts as a sequel to Aliens
Hmm.
Nightmare Asylum. There's like Earth Hive, and there's another one. To anyone who's watching, like, I highly recommend and these books and the comics. They're really fun, really good, interesting reads. If you're a fan of the Aliens franchise or the Alien franchise in general.
No, definitely. So while we wait for Effie to come back, let's go and we'll have him creep up. Go to a good movie, an underrated film, Volcano.
Nice.
Came out in
A film
1997.
that came out on Blu-ray and didn't make a lot of sales, so it never got a re-release. And it's out of print, and it's crazy expensive.
Yeah, I mean, this is a film I remember being advertised on the Independence Day VHS tape. They had the teaser for Volcano because that was going to be Fox's next big film. But this was
Now
going
that
to
you
come
mentioned
out.
that, I remember that too, because I watched that tape tons of times. The one with the holographic cover. Yeah.
With the White House blowing up.
Yeah.
And it was a very, very early teaser with barely any footage. And I guess it was going to come out sooner. But then there was some delays and it got released, I believe, was it before or after Dante's Peak? I want to say after.
Yeah, it was around the same time though, similar to what happened with Armageddon and Deep Impact. Like they all came out the same year.
And a very underrated disaster movie. No, it's not realistic. I don't care because it's a lot of fun with well done special effects that hold up fairly well with some model work, and you got real glass and stuff being blown up, real fireballs.
And a great tagline too. The coast is toast.
And Tommy Lee Jones is very likable. He's a very easygoing guy, just trying to do the best he can. He works well with Don Cheadle.
It was nice to see Tommy Lee Jones in that kind of position, because you really haven't seen him in that kind of role very often, where he's like the headliner, like he's the main star. It's not like a co-star with like Will Smith or whatever, and like in Men in Black. Like he's the main star in Volcano. Mm-hmm. And he also plays a character who, he's not, like his character in The Fugitive. There's a little bit more variety there in terms of how his character is written and how he handles that role versus some of his other performances. And like you said, yeah, it's just a really exciting, fun disaster movie. I watch it with you, like on Skype or something one night, like years ago.
It might have been.
I think we might have watched it together. I think it might have been.
Had you seen it back in the day or no?
No, I hadn't actually seen it. I remember the teaser trailer with The Coast is Toast, and I had the novelization, but I didn't really watch it until like you were like, "Hey, let's watch Volcano" or whatever.
Yeah, I always enjoyed it. I guess maybe I first rented it on VHS, but yeah, I had the DVD, which has the better cover, and then for some reason,
Blu-ray with the shitty cover with big head Tommy Lee Jones running.
I don't know why they do.
And it's all grayscale for some reason. It makes the movie look like shit. Like you look at the cover for Volcano on Blu-ray, you're like, wow, that movie looks lame.
But yeah, I never understood the hate the film got. It definitely has a sense of humor. I mean, the film ends with "I love L.A."
Yeah,
which is a wink to the audience that this is not. It's not parody. It's serious, but there's a little bit of fun.
It's similar to like Independence Day kind of in a vibe. It's a very over the top kind of film, and it's very much a movie that's heavily inspired by the disaster films of the 70s. By Irwin Allen, but with a 90s flavor, thrown in there.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with the Irwin Allen type of disaster films. Just by this time, you get Independence Day, Twister, and there's a little bit more of that. You would later have Deep Impact, Armageddon. Mm-hmm. Would you say, since people bring up Dante's Peak, which would you like better?
I like Volcano more. Like Dante's Peak is good, but
It's okay.
it's not as fun as Volcano is for me. It seemed like Dante's Peak kind of took itself a little more seriously than Dante's Peak. I mean, than Volcano, than itself. It took itself more seriously. No,
But I mean, the thing also with Volcano is that there's a bit of a build-up, but it's not Dante's Peak is feels like it's mostly build up for at least
yes,
half of the film.
Yeah. It's
And
not paced as well.
Yeah,
It definitely is not paced as well. It's similar to Deep Impact and Armageddon for me. Like Armageddon's a little more fun, although I still kind of like both films kind of equally. Armageddon to me has a better first half than Deep Impact, but a weaker second half. And Deep Impact has a better second half. I mean, than its first half. So it's kind of an opposite sort of thing for me.
and yeah, I know someone mentioned. Yeah, I know Dante's Peak was considered slightly more realistic, but that still has Pierce Brosnan driving on lava.
Yes, he's outrunning a pyroclastic flow in a Jeep. That's not
Okay, guys,
not
I'm back.
realistic at all
We're-
either.
We're in the
So-
middle- yeah, go ahead.
Now, fill me in where I left out. No problem. I had to take a
We
quick
were
call.
we were talking about Volcano and the
Very
Volcano
underrated.
versus Dante's Peak debate.
Oh yeah, okay.
Like I know, like which do you like more, stuff like that. What do you feel about Volcano? We both like Volcano more than Dante's Peak. We think Volcano's a lot of fun.
Agree. Dante's Peak, to be fair, I've never seen it all the way through. I know it's a big buildup of a movie, and then it pays
You
off, I
mentioned
guess,
that,
in
yeah.
the end, But Volcano just seemed like the pace was right there. Tommy
Yes.
Lee Jones and Hayes. You can't go wrong when the trailer's using Bishop's Countdown.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
From Aliens.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they used a little bit of music from Stargate. A matter of fact, that whole dun, 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 which I know they used that
Yeah.
music from. They used that music a lot in Waterworld. That was music. They used that music in the trailer for Waterworld.
That's the bit of music that accompanies like "Give my regards to King Tut, asshole."
Yeah, and then Rob blows up.
Yeah.
That's it, man. But Volcano is the shit. I love Volcano. Oh man, very good movie.
I'd love to get it on Blu-ray, but I'm not paying $75, $80, $100 fucking dollars.
Plain Bone.
Yeah, Plain
Yeah.
Bones, and some absolutely just shitty cover art. Have you seen the Blu-ray cover art, Effrey? Have you seen?
I've seen the cover art of the one of the DVDs. Just Tommy Lee Jones running.
Same.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Same
like,
thing,
running.
yeah.
Yeah, looks lame. I love that tagline. The toast is coast. I mean, the
Yeah,
toast.
the coast.
The toast
yeah, the
is
coast
toast.
is
Yeah,
toast.
just
Or the
badass.
toast.
Either way, the toast,
Toast.
the toast is burnt. Either way, no matter what, it's
The
burnt.
toast is burnt.
It's burnt. That's it. No butter. That's it.
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh my god, that's a classic. I love Volcano.
I even like Anne Heche in that film. I know some people find her annoying,
I mean, I
but
never minded her as an actress. I mean, I think people get annoyed by her because of her off-camera shenanigans. This whole thing. I'm out. Not really. I'm out. Not
Yeah.
really. I think that's what
Yeah.
got everybody annoyed. I'm out. Not
Yeah.
really. Because I didn't mind her in 6 Days, 7 Nights. I didn't
that's
mind
not
her.
on Blu-ray either, surprisingly.
That needs a Blu-ray. That needs a Blu-ray ASAP. That needs a Blu-ray. I mean, that movie.
Especially if Ivan Reitman passing away and he directed.
Yeah. That's very
But
underrated.
I guess it's not that surprising considering it's Disney. So
Yeah, it's Touchstone Pictures. Of course.
Yeah, that's why 3 Men and Baby isn't on Blu-ray and all that.
I hope it does. I mean, it'd be nice because the DVD for 6 Days, 7 Nights is terrible. Like it's one of those old Touchstone releases where it's not the right aspect. I guess it's technically the right aspect ratio for the time, but like on modern, like more high quality televisions, it's like super tiny, and you have to like stretch it out, and then it looks like shit. Yeah, I don't.
But going back to Volcano, I would say Volcano is more the fast-paced, fun version of Dante's Peak.
Yeah,
Like Dante's Peak, it takes like an hour before something really happens. Volcano is much faster, and the sense of humor with Tommy Lee Jones, Don Cheadle, it's much more of a fun, and the effects still hold up fairly well.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta love a film that ends with "I love LA." We love it. I mean, you gotta love a movie that ends that way. Come on, I love LA. and everything. And then plus Tommy Lee Jones is just bossing that. We're gonna
Yeah.
go right here. We're gonna go right here. Okay, we can't not like my plan. Fine, we'll do another plan, but don't tell me we're backing off. Like that's a man you're gonna follow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've always,
Tommy Lee Jones, like,
ever since I
yeah.
first saw that film, like I always looked at it, I was like, hey, all right, that's definitely one of my favorite Tommy Lee Jones performances.
Because think about it. Usually when you get a disaster film like this, it's always it's my plan. If it ain't my plan, fuck you. But Tommy Lee Jones said, okay, you don't like my plan, fine. We'll go to another plan, but don't tell me we're backing off. Said, okay, we'll go to another plan. So he's open-minded and such.
Exactly.
Granted, his plan worked, but still, he gave the option, and everything. Good fucking movie. Good. I like the stories they have in there. Like you have the Asian doctor with the hubby and everything like that. I didn't mind the two white cops with the black guy who's the prisoner, and he's becoming a pain in the ass. They let him go. Granted, the cop started the shit with him on the first place, but then he offers to help them out.
And really, a big reason why
it's not being potential. It's not being pretentious. You know what I mean? So little stuff like that. So it's like
I think another big reason why Volcano is such a fun disaster film and so underrated is just the variety of the craziness that ensues throughout the film. It's not realistic, no, but it makes it so much more fun to watch when you have like what is it like? They're almost like meteors, that fly through the air.
Meteorites, building exploding, fireballs.
Yeah.
Real practical effects.
I'm surprised they didn't like Van Halen didn't use that song. There's a fire in the hole. That would fit more with that movie than Lethal Weapon 4. Fire in the hole.
I think they did a song called Eruption too, didn't they?
I don't know if I heard that. I know I heard Fire in the Hole, which would be on the Lethal Weapon 4 soundtrack. Which I'm like, that's a good song. It needs to be in this movie though. And such a fire in the hole because it's fire, It's a big hole. That's what it is. That's the way I look at it. Classic. I love
not a hole. It's a big hole.
But Dante's Peak, to be fair, I have to a lot of holes in those statues. But look, with Dante's Peak, to be fair, I have to watch it all the way through. But I know from what I've seen, the acting isn't bad. It's just it's a build up of a movie, and then the third because basically the whole thing with Dante's Peak is. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. No one's listening to Pierce Brosnan. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. But no one's listening to Pierce Brosnan. And then when shit happens, now you listen to the fucking guy.
Yeah. Of course.
It was cool to see with Dante's Peak. It was also really cool to see Linda Hamilton in a big
different role.
Kind of film at that time because it seemed like her career was just dead, and then she got Dante's Peak. And then I don't think the film like bombed or anything. I don't think it was like a huge, enormous box office smash, but it still didn't lead to her having much of a career.
Yeah, I think I gotta believe maybe because around that same time period, you gotta remember was the big divorce trial between her and Jimmy Kimmel.
Maybe that's what caused her career to to completely die.
Most of the films didn't do well, like this and Shadow Conspiracy, which those films did nothing. So it was a box office star.
And she's divorcing. She's divorcing. The king of the world. So
took his balls in the divorce.
She took his balls, man. Back though. Now he's the queen of the world. That's it.
Well, you know what? Since you brought that up, let's get to Titanic.
Titanic.
The overrated movie.
Titanic dumpster fire.
Yeah. Now to be fair,
I like it probably more than both of you, but at the same time, it is overrated. It is an overhyped film. It was overhyped at the time. But I'm just remembering, that the fact that I do have some nostalgic, fond memories of seeing that film with one of my grandmothers. And I used to watch it, a fair amount of times on VHS growing up. It's a film though where it definitely is a tale of two halves for me. Like I actually
boring and more boring.
Yeah, I legitimately really like the second half. When the
boat sinks
and whatever. Yeah, I like that part.
But that's the money shot when the boat sinks. The money shot's right there.
Yeah, I like that part though, because it as someone who's a fan of practical effects and everything, and just the spectacle of that, I think the writing could have been better, especially with the characters. But the
You're like king of
romance
the
thing,
world. I'm the king of the world.
yeah, the romance stuff doesn't really
You're
hold
king
up
of the
that
force.
well for me. The king of the force.
Oh God! Now,
Special Bush.
Is this your special bush?
where's that from? That's from a movie. I forgot what that's
Harold
from.
and Kumar go to
Yeah.
White Castle. Jamie Kennedy has a scene where Cal Penn takes a leak outside, and there's Jamie Kennedy just walks beside him out of the blue. It's like, why are you standing next to me? And then there's a wide shot. There's like all these empty trees that go.
Oh
to.
God!
And Jamie Kennedy's like, "Was this your special bush? You king of the forest?"
I can see Jamie Kennedy saying that too.
Yeah.
The way, yeah, Jamie Kennedy was great in that.
Yeah,
scene.
but my thing with this movie is this. I did not go to a theater for this. I saw this on a bootleg, one of those bootleg that actually had 2 VHS tapes.
Oh, okay.
Now, okay, I will be fair and say I didn't mind the acting by Leonardo DiCaprio. He should have got something, but he didn't get nothing. Kate Winslet got it. Kate Winslet was good, but Leo I thought was better. Billy Zane, everybody regards this as one of his best roles, but sadly after this, nothing happened for Billy Zane. So
Well, he had the cult film role in Zoolander. You know, became a that
was
became
it
a
Zoolander?
cult.
Really?
Yeah, he became a big fan.
I've
mean,
never seen that one. Still,
not necessarily
Zoolander.
big fan, but a lot of people became big fans of Billy Zane because of that.
Really? Oh, I didn't know it was
Performance.
Zoolander. Oh, yeah. No, I never seen the original one.
No, I haven't seen that one.
No, I haven't seen that.
Have either of you seen Raise the Titanic? That was another.
No,
Titanic
I've heard of
film.
it. It's a big bomb.
Yeah, it was a huge.
I've heard of the title. When that came out, Rise of the Titanic.
1981, I think,
Okay.
or 80,
What?
1980. It was early 80s for sure.
Okay, yeah. So I remember Geraldo did some kind of thing like that where he was trying to do something with Raise the Titanic. Then
Yeah,
he
Raise
went
the
to-
Titanic.
he was trying to do
It's
something with that,
bad,
like a
but
documentary.
it's kind
I
of
know.
an interesting
Special.
film to watch in comparison to.
How to waste money?
Well, there you
Well,
go.
it's an interesting film to watch in comparison to Titanic, the 1997 film, because everything's just so factually inaccurate when it comes to Race the Titanic.
But Titanic is so overrated to me. It's incredibly
Mhm.
boring. Yes, there's spectacle, but there's plenty of movies, whether it be Indiana Jones films, whether it be
Yes.
other James Cameron films, that I get the spectacle, but I get a lot more out of.
Yeah.
This is when James Cameron became Jimmy Cammy, lost his balls, lost his soul. If he lost his balls here, Avatar's when he lost his soul. And then he just, producing bullshit and Dark Fate, Dark Fist fucks, whatever you want to call them. And just Avatar 2, 3, 4, I don't give a fuck. They don't suck ass, just like Avatar sucked ass. And Titanic was just completely overrated as hell. I didn't care about the love story. Move your fat ass, get Leo DiCaprio on the fucking block of wood, too. Stop hogging all the fucking wood. You fucking fat ass Rose.
Funny enough, I think Jimmy Cammey responded to that because a lot of people in shows were telling him that, but he could have fit, and he laughed it off. He goes, I know he could have got on the raft, but still cinematic wise, he had to die. I'm like, no, he didn't. He could have been up there with it. He could have been telling the story to Bill Paxton and everybody.
He was dead at the beginning because they tell us she's alone, she's old. There's no Jap beside her.
Yeah.
Either he died of a heart attack or he died.
Or died of natural cause. Or maybe he died in the honeymoon.
He died in the bathroom trying to give himself a blowjob, broke his neck.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say
DiCaprio.
Titanic is one of my favorite films of 1997 or one of my favorite films. Period. It's just a film that
It was a film you just couldn't escape from. I mean,
No.
my whole year, it was everywhere. The radio. I was graduating from high school. The
did they use
1998.
that as the high school graduation song?
They wanted to, but I think at this point in time, the kids were even tired of the song. They're like, "Oh, come on,
Good.
do something else. Come on, we don't want to do that." So then the music teacher went and redid this.
I just remember hearing that song even in like fast food restaurants.
Yeah.
and and the mall, and
You couldn't
just
escape it.
Yeah,
It was everywhere.
I will say this, like that fucking song I hate. Like if you're talking about like Titanic stuff, like I
Heart
hate
Will
that
Go On,
fucking
yeah.
song.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, at the time, Celine Dion, I don't mind her music. I'll be bold enough to say that.
I like
Yes,
her song in Deadpool 2.
Yeah, I don't mind her music. I don't mind her version of the Power of Love and all these other songs. Yeah, I'm a romantic. Fuck it. I mean, I admit it. Fuck it. But that is one of her overrated songs. But I listen to it nowadays. I can hear it. It's okay. It is what it is. But I just think back of how back in 1997, 98, you couldn't escape that song.
No.
Couldn't escape.
And as much as I do like certain aspects of Titanic, it did not deserve to sweep the Oscars. Like it won every fucking Oscar pretty much that year. And
that was one of the reasons why when Avatar was up for awards and stuff, they did not give shit to Avatar. They gave it to Hurt Locker. Because they don't want Jimmy Cameron to go up and say, I'm still the king of the world. They didn't want him to start talking shit again. That's one of the reasons. And funny enough, it was to his ex-wife he lost to, Captain Bigelow. So that's adding salt right to the cut right there.
Yeah.
And shit, you know?
Good, it was a better movie than Avatar.
It is. Jeremy Renner wiped his ass with Sam Worthington, in my opinion. Oh, man.
Yes. Sam Worthington, that guy, his career went nowhere.
To be honest,
Clash of the Titans.
His best role. I was still
Terror's
his best role to me.
And Terror's Ovation, and then not much. His best role was in Road to me. The Crocodile movie Road.
Yeah, he was like this. He was in it for that much, and he got killed. That's about it.
Well, that's why.
That much, and he got killed. Yeah.
But I mean, one more Titanic. So overrated. I'm not sure what award we could say. That's the thing, folks, is that sometimes there's movies you can only say so much. It's not the best movie ever.
I will say this as well about Titanic. It's way too fucking long. Like, it really
3 hours.
It didn't need to be that long. The story
2 videotapes.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, 2 videotapes. The story was. It's just not something that needed to be that excessive of a length.
No. And funny enough, Michael Bay must have been a big fan of it because what did he do? Yeah, I gotta believe he did that on purpose because I want to prove I'm like Jimmy Cammey. So he did Pearl Harbor, which that had a love story. What? He said that.
He said that.
You see?
Michael Bay said that.
Yeah, I agree. He admitted it. He did, yeah.
He wants to be James Cameron. I mean, Ed Harris even said in a commentary, Michael Bay, when he was doing The Rock, Michael Bay, why are you yelling at people? He wants to be like James Cameron. And Ed Harris like, he shrugged off Michael Bay, but he hated James Cameron on The Abyss.
Oh, yeah, he did. Definitely.
But he shrugged off Michael Bay.
Ed Harris almost drowned to death shooting that movie. So.
Of course.
But yeah, he even admitted Michael Bay wanted to be James Cameron.
But there you go. It shows. He wants to be Jimmy Cammey. He wants to be Spielberg and whatnot. Did you hear this quick thing? I'm sorry to go off topic. But that when Michael Bay was talking about Ambulance, the new film or whatnot, that he mentioned he was at this video store in Paris or something where he's picking videotapes and stuff. He picked up Speed and he goes, I actually wanted to direct this film, but they didn't want to give it to me, but they gave it to John DeBont. Where's his career now? I'm just kidding, just playing. Trying to do a little sneak jab at John DeBont. But there he goes, I'm just kidding. It's just fucking around, just kidding.
Where's Michael Bay's career? Ambulance wasn't a hit.
Yeah.
Really? I thought it was
at the same time.
Oh, shit. Sonic kicked his ass.
It wasn't a hit. It wasn't a hit, but
Sonic and Knuckles kicked his ass. That's what happened.
Yeah, he's still getting films that have like major studios backing them and higher budgets. Like Jan de Bont, like he had a great start to his career. I mean, really sizzling start with
Speed and Twister.
And then the Haunting remake and Speed 2.
Yeah, which I know is coming up on the list, I bet. That came out the same fucking year.
Do you want to talk about another boat in Speed 2? Do you want to do that next?
No. Should we go to another boat? Get out the way, or you want to go to a good
just
film?
Go with Speed 2.
Why not?
Control.
So Speed 2, the search for more money. That's what it should be called. The more
One of the
money.
best decisions Keanu Reeves made.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
I was gonna mention that because you know the film is bad when Keanu Keanu just knows. It seems to have an eye for like things.
There's an
that are
interview
not
with him. But
Not
there's a,
lately.
there- that's
Not
true.
lately.
Or Bill and Ted
Yeah.
3.
Yeah.
I
Face
mean,
the
that-
music,
You know,
face the pain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
There's an interview with him where someone talked to him about Speed 2. I think when he was doing press for John Wick or something, he goes, well, they said Speed, okay, the first movie was a bus. Now it's a ship, a boat. I'm like, I don't get it. A boat? But it's a boat. But well, how can a boat go fast? I don't get it. So I said, I'm going to go do a tour. And I dodged that bullet. And he mentioned it. He dodged it.
Yeah.
And Sandra Bullock, she did it for the fucking paycheck because she wanted to produce some fucking movie she wanted to do.
Hulk
Same thing with-
float.
Yeah, and I believe Jason Patrick did it because he wanted to produce a movie as well. So they were just looking for paychecks. And they made a mistake making it PG-13. So that was a big mistake
Yeah.
and whatnot. The only thing I liked about the film was the reggae version of the Titus Hyde. That's
Did
it.
you like William Dafoe? Did you like
William-
it? His
William Dafoe, to be fair, he's not giving a bad performance, but he's chewing it up. How you
Yeah.
gonna stop me now, my friend? You know, with his big eyes. How you gonna stop me now?
Very hammy.
He's hamming it
Yeah.
up. He's chewing it up. I guess someone told him, okay, Dennis Hopper did this, but go turn the knob up to over the top. That's basically what they told him. Turn the knob up higher.
Willem Dafoe is similar to like Nicolas Cage for me, like an actor who, when he's understated, when you have him on a leash, he can deliver some really great performances.
Hold him
But
back.
But if you don't hold him back, he can just be cringe.
Maybe that's what happened.
I don't like Speed 2 either, but I kind of come into a new thing as time goes on. It's a flawed story, but I wonder with Speed 2 if the casting was different, if it was Keanu, and if it was like James Woods as the villain.
Oh, okay.
And while the story would be flawed, I do think it'd be at least a fun. Because we've seen a lot of movies and sequels that are not fantastic, but they're fun sequels.
Yeah.
Because it does have some fun action scenes, but Jason Patrick, he's good in The Lost Boys. He was fine in this film called Narc. He's terrible in the movie. He's a block of wood. Willem Dafoe's hamming it up. I think James Woods, if you played it like
The Specialist.
Oh, yeah.
a bit more weight to it than that, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that could work. I
He's
don't know,
fun.
maybe.
I loved him in The Specialist. He was great in The Specialist. Ned. I loved him
But
as
do you
Ned.
think that could work with the casting, or is it just too much with the script?
I think if you got those people involved, and okay, I don't know if the boat with the detonator and the shit. I don't know if you need that and something. I would say, as generic as this sounds, it wouldn't be Speed no more. But if by any chance there was a hijacking on the ship, as
Well, I
generic,
think it's going to be a Die Hard movie at one point.
like at one point, maybe it was like a Die Hard on the ship.
I think that
Maybe
wasn't
it
that
could work.
debunked? I thought that was debunked, like, but that it wasn't
debunked.
actually.
But I mean,
Yeah.
it could have been. It could have been.
Yeah.
worked into a Die Hard
I mean,
movie.
there. I think there was a script at one point that did have like Die Hard on a boat, but it wasn't what was ultimately turned into Speed 2.
Or maybe
Um,
if Speed 2 was like Crank, and Keanu Reeves couldn't stop, and that's a different kind of speed. I don't know, like
That he's drugged or something. That he
his
like,
heart
like
blows up.
oh well, it was something like that.
See,
but then
it could have been fun, but
Interesting.
it still would have been derivative. It still would have had a lot of other issues, even if you had Keanu and some of these other people involved. Bringing up one last thing I want to talk about when it comes
Well,
to Speed
T-Bud,
2.
let me tell you, if it was Keanu and James Woods in this movie, right? Same script. Which will you like more, this or Bill and Ted 3?
Oh, if
This.
that was the
This.
case, absolutely.
This.
Or this or Matrix 4?
this.
I haven't seen Matrix 4 yet, but I'm pretty sure I would probably like that version of Speed 2 more than Matrix 4. But one last thing I want to talk about with Speed 2, it's one of the first things that pops into my head, is Roger Ebert giving this 2 thumbs up. And like he for the rest of his career afterwards, like he always would continually defend his rating on this. And you know what? I'll give him some kudos for that, for sticking to his guns. but I don't get it. He gave Die Hard 2 stars, and he gave this 2 thumbs up.
Those guys, I respect their opinions on what I grew up watching their show on Friday nights when I was a kid and whatnot. And there's some fun stuff to be had with those guys arguing with each other. Like, I remember there was one that they split on. Like, Roger Ebert hated people under the stairs, but Gene Siskel liked the people under the stairs. And then there was one where they're both talking about The Last Boy Scout. Gene Siskel hated Last Boy Scout, but Roger Ebert liked The Last Boy Scout. So sometimes, I mean, like, I'm never going to forgive them for giving 2 thumbs up to Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer, because of this, and that. But meanwhile, they gave thumbs down to Aliens for fucking child endangerment. But
I think Roger Ebert ultimately gave it thumbs up.
Really?
Yeah, I think if you look back, it was Gene Siskel. He had an issue with that, but I think if you look back, Roger Ebert ultimately did give it a thumbs up because.
Oh, he did? Okay. I never knew that. Oh.
But yeah, Roger Ebert in his
so.
review of Die Hard, he gave it 2 stars because he didn't like the character played by the guy from the Breakfast Club who played the principal.
Oh,
Paul Gleason. Dwayne. He didn't like Dwayne.
Yeah.
He hated that character. And he hated that character and they gave it like 2 stars because he hated that character so much.
Yeah, that's Dwayne. Well, Roger Ebert loved Cop and a Half, so.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like one of his favorite films. Cop and a Half. But yeah, I mean, hey, Roger Ebert gave a thumbs up to Leviathan, the Golden Child.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, there you go.
You never know.
You never know. These guys, they split on things, you know. It's crazy. Yeah, sometimes we split on stuff, so it happens.
Yeah.
It's been known to happen. But the movie, it's a flawed film. Very flawed film. I think the backstory on the film will be more interesting in retrospect. I know Sandra Bullock regrets this film, and I know she regrets Miss Congeniality too. She is the main reason
I'd rather
why.
watch Miss Congeniality 2 than Speed 2.
That's what she said. I've never seen the Miss Congeniality film, so I can't make any comments.
I like the first one. I think the first one's actually a lot of fun.
I gotta watch them one day. I gotta give them a watch.
Best performances.
Yeah, but that's one of the main reasons why we never gonna get a sequel to The Heat, because she put that into Melissa McCarthy's head. Hey, I did Speed 2. I did Miss Congeniality 2. You're not gonna catch a lightning twice, so.
I actually think that's a good idea. I mean, I like The Heat, but I don't think it would be something that would really hold up a second time around because of Melissa McCarthy's.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah. Even Spy, sadly, that deserves a sequel, but we're never going to get it. If we do, she's going to get a hubby to write it and fuck everything up, more or less. Because the hubby can't write for shit. Ben Falk.
We'll get Thunder Thighs. We'll get that movie.
Yeah, Thunder Thighs, yeah.
Thunder Cunt.
Well, that's what she is now. He is shit. Oh, man, but Speed 2 is a fucktastrophe, pretty much.
Somebody ACDC. Thunder Cunt.
That's it.
That's Melissa McCarthy.
You've been Thunder Cunt. You've been Thunder Cunt.
From now on, Melissa McCarthy. She's a Thunder Cunt.
That's it. Thunder Cunt. That's it. Oh God, we're gonna get to a good movie next.
Yeah, let's do a little bit different. Breakdown, a thriller with Kurt Russell, 1997.
Very well done movie. I'm glad I got to pick up the Blu-ray because I do want to. I look forward to that commentary.
I need to get it too. I mean, I pre-ordered it, but then it was one of those things where Amazon had some delays or whatever, and they wouldn't ship it, so I had to cancel the pre-order and. So I still need to get the Blu-ray. I have a bootleg, but I don't have the official release yet. I love Breakdown. I think it's an excellent thriller. I mean, really just suspenseful, tout. Just got some great performances by just pretty much everyone in the cast. One of my favorite Kurt Russell performances of his career.
Yeah.
And I would say arguably Jonathan Mostow's best film and his best work when it comes to the direction.
Yeah, I can say that. It is one of his best films. Yeah.
Did you guys first see it on VHS?
I did. I rented it on VHS. I think I might have been on the same time I rented Broken Arrow and The Rock. So that was a good blockbuster night, literally. So I watched those 3 movies. I enjoyed it. I mean, I always put Unlawful Entry a little bit higher because I feel like that's the more underrated one that everybody forgets about.
I mean,
love
Unlawful Entry is definitely
Unlawful
up
Entry.
there too.
Like when it comes to Kurt Russell, when he does the thriller stuff, I would say Unlawful Entry, Breakdown. He did this other one in the 80s. I did see, recently, one called The Mean Season.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that one up. Yeah, the Mean Season. Yeah,
he's good acting wise there, but the third act is not a downbeat ending. But just I wish Kurt Russell did more in the third act of Unlawful Entry, and then in this film, than that film. That's my only problem I have with Mean Season. But it's not a bad film and whatnot. But I will put those films above that though. But Breakdown.
I think it was DVD for me. It might have been VHS though. No, I might have watched it on VHS like in Oklahoma City because I had a bunch of VHS tapes then, and I might have watched it at that point. Because I remember like watching it and then making sure like I watched it with with my dad and with my stepdad. I just tried, like, as soon as I saw that film the first time, I was like, this is really good. And so I kept trying to like get other people I know to see Breakdown.
It's a good thriller. I mean, it's in this tradition of different plots, but those road movies like Duel, The Hitcher, those type of movies. And you had not seen one for a while. And even since then, like, it's better than Unhinged.
Yeah, indeed.
That.
Indeed.
And I know... Did you guys ever see... I saw this, the original opening of the film?
I don't think so.
No.
The director was forced to do this, and thankfully he made them delete it.
Okay.
It showed Kurt Russell's character was actually a cameraman at a war.
Oh, really?
And so he saw like some stuff going on, but it really led to nowhere. But the studio was like, you can't just have them on the road already. You got to build them up. And it's like, no. They're learning the characters as it goes on. And that shows that the studio, what was it, Paramount?
Yeah, I thought it was fine just the way it was. I actually like the way it opens up with Kurt and Kathleen.
But they argue with the director. The studio say, no, you have to have some kind of background where he's in some situation. What's his job and where did he come from? And
most of the time when studios get involved like that, they just are sticking their nose where it doesn't belong. Like, just get the
and that's actually on the Blu-ray on a deleted scene on the Blu-ray.
Oh, it's on the Blu-ray. Okay. I gotta look. I don't think I've ever seen the deleted scene. I've heard about it. I think it was on the trivia. I didn't know they actually filmed it. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
But I really like the opening. I think it's charming. It really does a good job giving you a glimpse into their relationship. The whole bit about the snowballs and the lottery.
The donuts.
Yeah, the donuts. Yeah.
1,000 donuts or 1,000
donuts,
something like that.
Yeah, I thought that was fun.
Lo and behold, likable characters.
Yeah.
Which sadly we don't see no more.
Very
sad.
Key.
We lost the technology to do that.
This film would not be as successful as it is.
We lost the technology.
without having those likable characters, with having the two, having the couple be likable and be
imagine that
you
likable characters that you care about, that you don't want to see nothing happen to. Without politics, without agendas. Do you remember those days? Back in the day where it's just likable characters?
Yeah, I know. I will say this Top Gun Maverick is kind of one of those movies.
Really?
So there isn't really a lot of agendas.
All right,
that's
good
politics.
to know.
Yeah.
That's good to know. Wow.
Yeah, for those wondering, Mike did see Top Gun Maverick. He did enjoy it quite a bit.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it either. I might go the following weekend. I don't want to go on the first opening weekend, but I'm going to go check it out in 4DX. I'll call for a little bit of money. I'll throw that up.
Yeah, but the thing I also really like about Breakdown is, it's kind of a simple plot, but it's very effective because it's something that a lot of people can kind of connect with.
Yeah.
Like, if you're on a road trip and you're with your woman or whatever, and then she goes missing, and what would you do?
Yeah.
Like and I think the tagline was like, it could happen to you. Like it. There's a possibility.
But that's what makes movies like this, Kidnapped, and The Hitcher good films, because the plot is something that can actually happen. Even Unhinged, that's a plot that can happen, but that movie fucks up because have you seen Unhinged or not yet?
Not yet.
If you see it, I mean, Russell Crowe is not doing a bad job, but the person he's going up against is a fucking stick figure.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, she's not the best written character or acted
No,
character.
no.
Mm-hmm.
Russell Crowe wipes his ass with her, pretty much. Not literally, but character-wise, just
And also with Breakdown also mentioned J.T. Walsh as the villain.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
He
The
was-
late great J.T. Walsh.
Yeah. He was known
He
for doing
did-
a lot of these roles like that. Playing
Yeah,
bad guys
and this is one of my favorite performances from him because it
Yeah.
just shows his range. You have him being ruthless and just an absolute scumbag, and then you have him flipping on a dime, and he's acting like he's this really
Nice guy.
nice guy.
Mhm.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's one of the reasons I love Unlawful Entry as well, because Ray Liotta is that type of actor. He can be
Mhm.
very nice, very good, trustworthy. All of a sudden, he's gonna flip. When he flips, that's when you gotta watch. Oh shit! You gotta watch it.
Mhm.
So,
When he flips, you flip him off.
exactly,
Yeah.
flip him off. That's right. When he flips you off, that's it. Try to be all clever, but I fuck up sometimes. That's it. I mean, like that. But anyway, that's what I mean. Is a good actor is the one that can get you to give a shit about them.
We had some
and
good-
then all of a sudden make you hate them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you had some good supporting roles too. MC Rainey, like he's been in a lot of stuff. He played
Swamp
the
Thing from Con Man.
Yeah,
From
he played
Con
the
Air. Con Air. Yeah.
the henchman, so to speak, the guy who worked alongside J.T. Walsh.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
cop
And-
was Rex Lynn, who was in Cliffhanger.
Rex Lynn.
And the
good job.
stunts. Had some really nice stunts in it too.
Beautiful stunts.
Especially in the
Beautiful.
finale.
Yeah. The satisfying finale too, especially with the hanging off the thing and
Yeah.
the chain and the aggression.
And
of
even
Kurt
prior
Harris.
to that, like Kurt
No.
Russell hanging on to the side of the
Yeah.
the trailer. Yeah.
I gotta hear that commentary. There's gotta be some funny story behind hanging off that fucking truck. There's gotta be some story behind that. Or Kurt was gonna start laughing. Oh, great! Another day at the job. There we go.
It's a fun commentary. It's definitely worth it.
I love Kurt. I love Kurt. Kurt's great. He's good. I mean,
He's a very consistently good actor.
he is. He
throughout the
is.
years.
I see a lot. When I see his son Wyatt, like when I saw him in that was that one that World War
World War
II.
II horror movie.
Overlord.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Overlord. I see a lot of Kurt, and I start fanboying out. Look at the expression. Look at McCready. Look,
Mhm.
look at this. The way he
Yeah.
giving that line, it's like Snake Plissken. Look, I start going, cool.
Yeah.
Even as I mean, I will be bold enough to say this: if I can find some way, shape, or form to watch Captain America and the Winter Soldier, that show, that
Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Falcon Winter Soldier, yeah.
Mhm.
I would watch it for Wyatt Russell because I've seen clips of his performance as that Captain America. He might be the best part.
Oh,
Because
does he play U.S. Agent? Is that who
Yeah.
he's doing?
He's playing
Oh,
U.S.
okay.
Agent. Yeah. And he's for the clips I've seen, he's giving it his all. And I know
Murdering
that.
people, right?
Yeah, but that the whole thing is that he's not Steve Rogers. That's the whole thing. Everybody wants him to be Steve Rogers. He's this other person. I mean, it's in a sad way.
It
That's
kind
not
of
the way-
reminds me of what was going on with the Batman Nightfall Night's End comics with Azrael, because Azrael is not Bruce Wayne. He's
Exactly.
more violent. He's more impulsive.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Even though I never heard of that comic, but still, that whole thing of, and I think that's one of the reasons why Wyatt Russell doesn't want to be Snake Plissken, because he's seen all the flack he caught by just trying to be Chris Evans and Captain America, and you feel sorry for his character, at least by the clips I've seen. I mean, I haven't seen the show, but going back to Kurt, I mean, he's Kurt fucking Russell. I mean, come on. Every time I see that guy, I keep hearing that Jack Burton theme in my head. I wish that was his phone when somebody calls up. Yeah. Here's the Pork Chop Express. Kurt Russell, how can I help you? That's it.
Yeah, he's like Matt was saying, just a very consistent actor and performer, and just has a range that's just really wide. He can be a good guy in a comedy. He can be a good guy in a drama. He can be a backdraft. To me, he deserved an Oscar for that.
I agree, 100%. He deserved it. He deserved it. He should have got one.
I mean, because that performance still gets me every time.
Yeah.
One of the best dying performances.
Yeah.
On film from Kurt Russell and back.
Kurt needs to do a commentary for that film. That's what he's doing.
Yes.
Yeah. Kurt needs to do one in ASAP. Yes. ASAP.
And stuff like Breakdown, where you could play like the everyman, but also get into a little bit of action.
Yeah.
And you buy it, even though he's like just a family man. Just
Yeah.
the husband going on vacation with his wife.
Exactly. I mean, it
And
can happen
he
to
has that
anybody.
charisma, and he has that personality that makes him someone that you really like, and you like to watch him work. So you immediately then sympathize with whatever plight that Kurt Russell's character he's portraying is going through.
And I
So
like
like in Breakdown, like you immediately are like, yeah, you
So,
motherfucker, where's his wife?
Yeah.
You're like,
so let me ask each of you, which is your favorite Kurt role?
Are we talking about regular Kurt performance, or we're talking about Kurt Russell in badassery performance? Like
And
badassery,
just your favorite Kurt performance?
performance.
tough. That's so tough.
I gotta lean, because on Lawful Entry, I feel so sorry for, because no one mentions that besides you guys. No one talks about that one. When I
I'm like one
mentioned
of the
that,
only people that's reviewed that movie.
I think Matt reviewed it as well. Matt, I think, enjoyed
Yeah,
Lawful Entry.
I
Yeah,
liked it. Yeah.
because just that whole thing of a cop authority figure, and it's not about politics. It's not because I'm black. But this, it
But
ain't
my
about
favorite
that.
performance, my favorite film he's in is The Thing, but my favorite performance is Jack Burton.
Because he's not afraid to. He has no ego. He's not afraid to make fun of himself or to put himself as
He's
this
the
character.
he's the sidekick, just
Yeah.
all.
Like he says, he's the blowhard. Even he says
Yeah.
it in the commentary. Yeah, which that's one of my favorite commentaries. One he did with John Carpenter on Big Trouble in Little China and Escape from
Poor
New York.
Chop Express, on whoever's out there.
Yeah,
We shook the bells of heaven, didn't we, Wayne?
yeah. No horseshit, Jack.
No horseshit.
Oh man. I mean, I love the performance. Of course, I my first R-rated film I was introduced to was Escape from New York. So Snake Plissken has a soft spot in my heart. I love Gabe Cash.
Yes,
It's a good one.
great reference.
Because I know Kurt even admitted that out of all the characters he played, that's the one that's more close to his sense of humor, Gabe Cash. So the way he fucks with Stallone doing that thing like this, that's kind of the joke off camera. Him fucking with Sly like that, doing stuff like that and everything. Just great actor. And I like about him, he did an interview where he says actors should not get involved in sharing their political views. We're here to make films. Let's make films. We're here. I think he mentioned something about we are the jesters in the court jesters. We're here to perform in front of the camera, entertain. That's it. We're not here to give political things or whatnot. And I like that. It makes a good point, valid point there, and such.
So, what would your favorite Kurt Russell role be then, Jeffrey? Unlawful Entry?
I would have to say for the regular guy, it's tough because between that.
Just all together.
Yeah.
All together, okay.
My favorite is Snake Plissken.
Snake Plissken, fuck it. I go Snake Plissken, and then right after that, I'll put his Michael character from Unlawful Entry because I really rooted for his character a lot. And then
see, I love Jack.
I want it all, like Pokemon. I want it all. That's it. I want it all.
I love Jack Burton. It's a great performance.
Jack Burton is great.
I love McCready from The Thing. Another
Mike's
great
Captain Ron. Captain Ron. I gotta put Captain Ron in there.
Mike's favorite is That Your Decision.
No, fuck that movie.
He's
Kurt
not
Russell
bad.
isn't bad in that.
He's not bad. It's just the movie. Yeah. The acting isn't bad. It's just the movie. The same thing with was it 1,000 Miles to Graceland? He's not bad in the role. 1,000 Miles
to Graceland.
Yeah, he's not bad in the role, but the movie's a fucking clusterfuck.
Yeah.
I also really like Kurt Russell in Breakdown. Soldier's a very underrated performance.
Soldier, that'll be one I'll put on the list. Like if I had a top 5, it would be Snake Plissken, Michael Carr. It will be also Captain Ron, Bull, the character Steven from Backdraft for being there. I should think Plissken, Gabe Cash.
Yeah.
And of course this character. So that'll be like top 6 performances will be right there. And what? Now, of course, R.J. McCready as well.
Yes. Gabe Cash from Tango and Cash I also really love. And exactly. And Kurt's just one of my favorite actors, so it's very difficult for me to like pinpoint like
Exactly,
my
it's hard.
favorite performance from Kurt Russell. I mean, Wyatt Earp, you
Yeah.
know, in Tombstone.
He's the iconic Wyatt
Um,
Earp. He's the one everybody talks about the most. No one talks about Kevin Costner's Wyatt Earp that much, to be
No.
honest. I mean,
You know, hell is coming with me. You
Yeah.
know, it's a great performance in that movie, and I even liked his little bit role as you know, the hero, the commander in Sky High. I had fun with him in that. But I guess if I had to pick, like, and of course Snake Plissken, can't forget Snake.
of course.
I mean, I gotta go with Bull. I guess I gotta go with Stephen McCaffrey.
Yeah.
You know, it's probably, I would say, the first Kurt Russell performance I saw. So I think that would probably be it, because that's the film, and that's the performance that made me go, I like this guy. I really like this actor. And
Backdraft 2.
fuck Backdraft 2.
No Kurt, no movie. Simple as that. That's it. No Kurt, no movie.
Well, he couldn't be in it unless he's a zombie.
It's a twin brother. He had another twin brother from another family. A clone. They cloned him.
No.
He wasn't really dead. He was frozen. They
This
got
isn't
thrown out.
Universal. This isn't Universal Soldier regeneration.
He's
But
frozen like Bruce Lee. They're gonna bring him back. Worry about it. When the economy gets better, to fight the economy.
He's frozen like a Mel Gibson's character in Forever Young.
Well, there you go. They're gonna microwave him out to come back for the sequel. That's it.
either way, Breakdown, good movie,
Classic.
underrated thriller.
Classic.
Now, I'm going to mention this because this guy was nice enough to send this. I
Okay.
wasn't thinking of it because I barely remember the film. Flubber from 97, Robin Williams. I haven't seen that in forever. I remember that being so-so.
I think it's okay. Yeah, so is a good way to put it.
I never seen it all the way through. I've seen clips of it, to be fair, and whatnot. But Robin Williams at this point, I mean, he was everywhere. I mean, he was just God. This might have been his follow-up right after, I believe, Jumanji. I think it was, right? It was a right.
Jumanji was 95, I think.
Isn't Flubber 96?
Wasn't it?
I think Flubber's 97.
Is
97.
97? Okay,
Did
97.
he do
Flubber-
Jack before or after?
I think
Flubber?
Jack was after. Jack was after. And then it was
Jack was
Bicentennial Man.
96.
Bicentennial Man, I
Jack
think it
was
was 99.
So Flubber was 97?
Yeah.
So he did Jack before.
Yeah, 96.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Efrey.
Nah, but I said that I think he did Bicentennial Man in 99, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes,
Or
that's
2000, yeah. That's a very long movie. Yeah, I couldn't get into Bicentennial Man. Robin Williams wasn't bad acting-wise, but it's just very long.
This
Very
is
long.
the same year he did Good Will Hunting.
Flubber,
97.
There you go.
Flubber's okay. Like
He's great at Good Will Hunting. He's great at Good Will
Yes.
Hunting.
it's
That
not
intense
like
moment where he got Matt Damon by the neck, where he said,
Mhm.
"I will end you. I will end you." Just that's very intense. Like, don't fuck with this guy. Like, it's not
Yeah.
Nanu. He'll fuck you up. Like, that's what I say. He'll fuck
Like-
up Jason Bourne right there. You know? That's it.
Flubber is okay, but it's very much an effects heavy driven kind of film. And I don't think some of the effects have aged that well. It's understandable that they haven't because it's CGI from like the late 90s. But also, it also is one of those films that has a lot of jokes that are very reliant upon current trends and pop culture at the time, which those don't tend to really hold up that well. Robin Williams is not the problem. I just remember like this lame B plot with like these bumbling crooks or whatever that I that seemed like they were trying to replicate Home Alone or something with these bumbling crooks, but it's not really
Wasn't that
nearly as
Disney?
good.
Yeah, Flubber
Yeah.
was
Of course.
Disney.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
It was a remake of an older film.
Honestly,
With,
I'll take Jack. I think I've always liked Jack.
Just Jack and the Birdcage was the year before.
Okay, so Robin Williams was all over the place pretty much. He was working nonstop. Maybe he rested.
And of course, the Birdcage. Like I really like the Birdcage. I love
Madonna,
Robin Williams in
Madonna,
that.
Madonna. It's all the Madonna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck the shrimp.
Yeah. Every time I don't know, I see Robin Williams with the mustache, I just crack
Yeah.
up. It's nice to think of Joey O'Brien You
Mhm.
know, the whole I love Cadillac Man a lot. That's probably one of my favorites.
Apparently, like that whole "fuck the shrimp" thing from Birdcage, like that was just improvised by Robin Williams. Like he just improvised that.
He was a
whole
genius. He was a genius. When he could improv, he could make it work. He was a genius. Oh man.
But the next film, let's talk about good film. We gotta bring this film up.
Okay.
Con Air.
Yeah,
I love it. I love
Put
it.
the money back in the box.
Yeah. What do you think I'm gonna do? I'm gonna save the fucking day.
Which he actually says that. Nick Cage actually says that in the Unbelievable Massive.
Nice.
He does?
He
That's
says,
great.
Put the money back in the box.
Oh, that's great.
So
That's great.
But
I mean, my favorite Nick Cage role, hands the fuck down. I mean, it's a character. I mean, I would go on a limb and say, not since First Blood have I ever felt bad. Really, we felt bad for a veteran returning home, because the situation what happens to him, it's a thing that can happen to any one of us. Sadly, you know, you're defending someone you love. You have this lethal set of skills which he had to use, and they threw the book at him. And you know, he just wants to go home to be with his wife and daughter, and this fucking plane gets hijacked, and then he's got to think, and you know, and whatnot, and the cast is dynamite.
definitely the director's best film.
Yeah, sadly.
Yes,
sadly.
absolutely.
I mean, I've grown to like General's Daughter. It has grown on me, but action-wise, is this film.
Yeah.
Action-wise, I don't know what happened after this.
It's like the most Michael Bay movie that Michael Bay didn't actually direct.
I think there's a story going around.
Way to put it.
There's a story going around that a lot of people keep thinking that this is directed by Michael Bay, but it's not.
No.
There's a story like that. I think somebody told Michael Bay, "I love Con Air, but I thank you, but I didn't direct that." He said that somebody told him, "I love Con Air. I know you. That's good. It's a good movie, but I didn't direct it."
I think Jared Bruckheimer definitely felt with that feeling since he produced Bad Boys before, and then produced this, and a lot of
the score is by Mark Mancina and some of these other the same people.
Trevor Rabin and Mark Mancina
that worked on other Michael Bay films at the time.
Yeah. I still remember seeing the trailer to sorry to interrupt you, Mike. I still remember seeing the trailer to this when I rented The Rock on VHS tape. I saw the trailer where everybody getting off the bus, where they show the backstory and everything. And I see Nick Cage with the long hair. I go, all right. And then I saw The Rock. I enjoyed The Rock. But then I wonder if they told Nick Cage, you know what? We know you're getting your ass kicked a lot in this film, but I'm going to make it up to you in the next one. So I got to believe Jerry Bruckheimer or somebody told him that. I'm going to make it up to you. And lo and behold, he knocked it out the park.
Well, also, I think he just enjoyed doing action because before that he was just doing mainly dramas. So he finally get a chance to do something different. And I don't think he liked to work on The Rock because he didn't like working with Sean Connery because he said Sean Connery was kind of mean. Or something. So.
Yeah. I think even Michael Bay, I don't think liked working with Sean Connery that much either. That Sean Connery was kind of guy that didn't like directors. But even though he got along great with Spielberg on Last Crusade, because you see the behind the scenes stuff, they're laughing, they're having fun. I don't know. Maybe he just had. And Sean Connery, from what I understand, was a producer on The Rock. So maybe he had, put his foot in Michael Bay's ass more probably.
Well, he had to. If I remember correctly, I think there were some moments where it wasn't necessarily Michael Bay. Sean Connery actually had to call up the studio because they needed money or something to finish some kind of scene, and Sean Connery had to put the boot on, and be like, give us the fucking money, There's
a thing Michael Bay talks about that they were at a cafeteria or something with the producers or somebody were there, the studio people were there, and Sean Connery's told him, "What do you need?" Oh, he needs the money. We're running low on this. Okay. Look, stop fucking around and give us the fucking money. Something like that and everything. But Nick Cage, the cast, John Malkovich, Ving Rhames.
John Cusack.
John Cusack. Yeah, I mean, I know John Cusack, he doesn't like any of his goddamn movies. Just to be right. He doesn't like any of his fucking movies.
Savage Steve Holland. It seems like he does like the Savage Steve Holland kind of films that he did.
He does?
No, right? he hates.
Oh, he hates those.
He liked Hot Tub Time Machine.
Okay.
But he hated Better Off Dead.
Hot Tub Time Machine pokes fun at the 80s. That's why. That's what.
Yeah.
There's even a line of dialogue where it's like, "I hate the '80s." Like that's actually, in Hot Tub
Really,
Time.
John Tuesday likes that one and Gross Point Blank.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Because he produced Grosse Pointe Blank. That's
And
why.
the film with the stereo.
Oh, Say Anything.
Oh,
That's
Say
what I was getting
Anything.
confused with.
Overrated.
Okay.
Or to the
Overrated.
stereo movie.
I think he even likes what's that one that he did with Daphne Zeminga? The Sure Thing. I think he likes that one.
Sure Thing?
He-
Okay.
yeah, because he did an interview for that, for The Sure Thing.
But Con Air is a lot of fun. It's deep
Classic.
and fun. It's a nifty, cool idea. It's over the top. It has that 80s feel with a 90s aesthetic.
Yes.
And plus a badass theme music, man.
Yeah.
Badass. I mean,
Now.
and I want this to be blowing up behind me now. Yeah, I love it. I love the music. I mean, I even get glassy eyed. I'll be up man enough to man up to this. I get glassy eyed by the end when he has to when he sees his daughter for the first time,
Yeah.
and he's got the little stuff. But
Mhm.
granted, it's all smelly because of all the shit's been through. She's like shy and everything because he hasn't seen this girl in years. You know, and it's a great, beautiful moment.
It's a fun film. It's a kick-ass movie, but I always thought it was weird. They let the cannibal go.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
eat more people.
Yeah.
Steve Buscemi's character.
I mean, we don't really know if he's going to go on killing anyone because in the theatric version, because this is a director's cut I do have, in the director's cut, he's killing some of the correction people off camera and whatnot. So you get the sense he's dangerous.
Yeah.
But in the theatric version, if you notice, he ain't killing nobody. He doesn't kill the little girl. He doesn't kill this. He's just at the fucking casino drinking. So, I mean,
He was a cannibal.
I got a funny
He
story
was.
about like Steve Buscemi and Con Air. Like I was rewatching Armageddon and I had like Con Air in my head for some reason, and like I was expecting there was going to be some scene with Steve Buscemi's character and like a little girl with like a teacup, and then I was like waiting for that scene, and I'm like, oh no, that's Con Air. That's not Armageddon.
yeah, yeah. That's a good movie. I mean, I even like Michael T. Williamson in the film as well as Baby O, because there's an interesting deleted scene which explains why Cameron Poe doesn't want to leave him behind, because there was a deleted scene on the extended cut I got. In the opening montage, when you see the riots and everything, Cameron Poe was actually injured in a fire at the prison during a riot or something. Michael T. Williamson's character saved him, and he has a burnt mark on his arm.
Oh, okay.
So
Now,
that's what.
is the director's cut on Blu-ray or DVD?
There is a DVD I got of the.
No.
Really?
No, if I remember correctly, they just had the theatrical cut on. What, or did it have the director's cut on it? I think I'm trying to remember what was.
I mean, the director's cut doesn't fuck up the
know if it was on
film
there or not.
like other director's cuts do. It's watchable. Right. It's not as bad as I would say the director's cut to the 2004 Punisher or other movies that fucked up with the extended scenes. There's a little bit of stuff in it that could be on the sidelines, but doesn't hurt the film that much. But I thought that was interesting that Baby O, Michael T. Williamson's character, has a burnt mark on his arm because she has saved him. And Baby O was like, oh, but come on, you can leave. No, I can't leave you. But granted, I understand maybe why they took it out. They figured, okay, he's a soldier, he's a ranger.
Yeah, it's just
so
a theatrical cut.
Yeah,
just you
don't leave your man behind in the field.
So the director's cut you have is a DVD?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a DVD on its own.
On its own. No features, sadly, besides just the extended
stuff. It's as far as I know from
cut doesn't have the theatrical cut as well, just the director's cut.
Just the director's cut, which is sad. I mean,
I think it's similar to the Crimson Tide director's cut, which is only released on DVD as well, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
So the director's cut not on Blu-ray, just on the DVD.
And I remember ranting about that. I'm like, they have the space. They could put the director's cut on the Blu-ray.
Or give it an option. Have both versions.
They have the space. Because I have Blu-rays where it's like, oh, do you want to watch the theatrical or the director's version or the extended cut?
Give an option. I guess maybe they went by sales. Maybe not too many people bought the extended cut. Maybe it could be that.
Yeah, but I think the Blu-ray came out before the extended cut, so maybe that's part of it. And they didn't want to re-release it. I don't know. Yeah,
but that's the only extended scene I thought was interesting, I guess. But I can understand maybe why they took it out. And a little bits of, you get the sense that Steve Buscemi's character is dangerous. We don't see him killing anybody, but once in a while we find a dead correction officer next to him, and he just gives him a funny look. And then I like how Ving Rhames gives him like this scare, like Ving Rhames' character's almost scared of him a little bit and such. and everything like that. But I mean, it's a classic film. I mean, Nicolas Cage is my favorite role of his. I think even it's one of his favorite roles because he says he got a chance to play a Southern badass. You know?
Did either of you see in the theater?
I saw it on VHS.
I don't think I saw it in the theater.
I believe I might have rented that with Breakdown. I believe. Yeah, I rented that one with Breakdown. Yeah, I think
pretty good double feature.
What's interesting was when I rented The Rock, I rented it also the same time with Broken Arrow.
Oh yeah,
that's interesting. Matt, you gotta do a video like that. Broken Arrow versus The Rock. You gotta do one like that. I know Broken Arrow is gonna win. I know that for a fact. But you know, be a good conversation. You know, whatnot. Everything. Classic.
Yeah, Con Air, absolute classic.
Number 2 favorite of that year. Number 1, of course, Drive.
Now I'm gonna go to another good, action film. Since we're talking action, James Bond film, Tomorrow Never Dies.
Okay,
it's a good one.
I think it's one of the more underrated James Bond films. I think Michelle Yeoh works well in it.
Yeah,
I like that the villain is a media mogul, ahead of its time with the way the news is today.
The guy might as well be Steve Jobs. He might as well have been Steve Jobs.
Or Elon Musk.
Elon Musk.
Elon
Musk.
I love the boat. That's everything I really like about Tomorrow Never Dies is the tech, of that boat. I think it's really cool.
I love the remix of the Moby's James Bond's theme. I think it was that that was in all the TV spots. I love that. It's like a dance. I think it's Moby that did it. It was badass. I love it. Yeah. Michelle Yeoh with the martial arts.
Tomorrow Never Dies. That's the follow-up to GoldenEye, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be bold enough to say
more. Do you like GoldenEye or Tomorrow Never Dies?
I'll answer that first. After you go ahead.
GoldenEye. I mean, I enjoy Tomorrow Never Dies because what it is, Pierce Brosnan, he's not my favorite Bond. I don't hate him or nothing like that. It's just I feel like I lean more towards Timothy Dalton because I feel more sorry
he's
for
my
Timothy
favorite
Dalton.
too. He's my favorite too. I really like Timothy Dalton's Bond.
You do really? Oh, I thought you were Pierce Brosnan. I didn't know you were.
No, I'm always been a Timothy because like The Living Daylights was like the first Bond film ever.
Brosnan is my favorite.
Watching.
Okay, that's cool. No worries. Yeah, but I mean, maybe because everybody put Brosnan when he came out, everybody compared him a lot to Sean Connery. Maybe that's why. So
I think if Timothy Dalton had GoldenEye, like if he was in GoldenEye, then I think people would have probably, view him in a similar fashion. It's not.
He wanted to come back. He wanted to do it, but they just paid him off. Pretty much said, no, we're going Pierce.
Because they wanted Pierce. They wanted Pierce from the start.
In the beginning.
They didn't even want Timothy Dalton. He was like, the unwanted stepchild. They
actually wanted him. I think they wanted him back in the 70s, but he admitted he was too young to do it. And then they got Roger Moore, George Lazenby, or somebody.
They wanted Pierce Brosnan for The Living Daylights. But
Remington
Steele.
I still haven't seen that show. I would like to give it a watch one day, though. Remington Steele and stuff.
I like Timothy Dalton as well, but I grew up more with Pierce Brosnan, so he's...
Well, it depends on who you grew up with, because I grew up more with Dalton. But Pierce Brosnan's not bad. He's not bad at all.
No, he's not bad at all.
He's great. He's great in the role. I love the GoldenEye stuff, the whole thing on the top for Mick Jackson, and the guy with Alan Cummings. I did it, and he froze him. That's badass and whatnot. But Tomorrow that's not bad. The action sequence with the motorcycle, the helicopter, practical shit. Terry Hatcher, goodness.
Yeah.
In that movie, I don't know. I got kind of pissed off. They killed her. I said, damn, she's hot. Don't kill her off. Michelle Yeoh. I always had a weird dream that her character that she plays is the same character from Super Cop. But unfortunately, that's not the case. I always had that dream. I said, I wish it was the same character, but no, it's not the same case. It's a different character. Because I liked her character in Super Cop, which I think that got a sequel, but it's not called Police Story. It's called something else, but I never seen that one, though.
I like GoldenEye. I would probably say I like that more than Tomorrow Never Dies as well. Right. I think it's got some writing that's a little bit better. Like Tomorrow Never Dies had, to me, with the script, there's a few issues here and there, but I still enjoy Tomorrow Never Dies. I think it's a terrific sequel or a terrific, new Bond film. It's definitely better than The World Is Not Enough or Die Another Day. And
Yeah,
I think it's unfairly lumped in with some of those by some
Yeah.
people, and I don't think that's fair at all.
Yeah,
I do
it's not fair.
consider it one of the more underrated Bond films because no one ever talks about it. And if it does, they say like GoldenEye is the only good Brosnan film. I disagree. I think Tomorrow Never Dies holds up fairly well.
Because
And
to
like I said,
me,
the villain is pretty relevant today.
yeah. Because to me, sadly, Brosnan had really two good Bond films. Sadly, because The World Isn't Not Enough and Dino. The Dino didn't hold up well for me. I tried revisiting that. That is
I
terrible.
saw that in the theater, and I haven't seen it in a long time, so maybe my opinion on it will shift with a rewatch. But yeah, I had fun with it in the theater. But it's
Which
been
one? Die Another Day
forever.
or World's Not Enough?
Die Another Day.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I will admit, when I first saw it, I thought it was an ambitious, ballsy way to start a Bond film. He's being tortured, but I don't know if you needed Die Another Day's music in the background.
Yeah.
But they kind of overlapped that pretty fast. Like, you would think maybe he's a little more shaken up after what happened. They kind of do away with that fast. Like, Skyfall did that better with Daniel Craig. Like, he got shot. He got shot, and he's like, you know, his sight is not 100%.
I mean, I like GoldenEye, but I would say I might even like Skyfall more than GoldenEye because I just love Skyfall. I think it's a great film.
That's it. Have you seen the new Bond? The time?
Not yet. I have it in 4K, but I haven't seen it yet.
I saw the ending, but I'm not gonna spoil it.
I know about the ending already, so I'm prepared.
Matt, have you seen it yet? Has no one requested it, Matt?
I've said no. I don't care to see it. It's 3 hours long, and there's no need for me to waste my time for 3 hours to see James Bond die like a bitch.
Matt's like, I don't want my time to die. It's already dying enough. Watching all these Joey's World Tour videos.
It died too much too lately. So, fuck them. But anyway, Tomorrow Never Dies, fun sequel.
Decent film.
So, what is your favorite James Bond film, each of you? Of all
License to Kill. Because I believe there's an R-rated cut, which I didn't know about until a few months ago. That's something I got charged over here.
That's Golden.
Yeah, he's beeping me, telling me I'm doing good.
What? Yeah.
Now I would say, not die. Let's see. I would say
License to
Die Another Day.
I almost got fucked up there. License to Kill. The R-rated cut overseas, there's a little bit more stuff in there that didn't make it into the film. They could have left it in the film, to be honest, because the film's already dark as it is. It's not like you see a naked person or you see a little bit of the shark biting Felix a little bit more. Okay, Sanchez gets burned a little bit more. Benicio gets chopped up a little bit more. Once again, that's all bullshit. It could have been in the film, but for some reason they wanted the PG-13, which it worked. Dark
I would say License to Kill is definitely one of the most underrated films in the series.
It is.
I would probably say Living Daylights probably is my favorite off the top of my head. I really like the Living Daylights.
Yeah, Living Daylights and License to Kill to me are the top ones.
I also like some of the Sean Connery Bond, like You Only Live Twice. I think that's a good one.
That's the one I saw a lot growing up.
My favorite.
I like some of the.
Go ahead.
I like some of the Roger Moore films as well, like The Spy Who Loved Me.
Yeah,
that's a decent one. I saw that.
For Your Eyes Only.
I haven't seen that one. I gotta see that one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And with Daniel Craig, I really like Skyfall, and I also like Casino Royale.
Quantum of Solace I could watch, even though it has its problems.
I'm disappointed by that one. I saw it in the theater, and it's just.
I know the editing has a lot of problems because they were trying to do that Jason Bourne shit.
Yeah, that does not work at all with Bond.
I mean, they learned their lesson because they didn't do it again.
And Spectre, I saw that in the theater too.
I saw that in theater. Because the mistake they made was they tried to connect Daniel Craig's Bond with Sean Connery's Bond, which is not a good idea.
No.
Oh, Blofeld. Oh, and they wanted to go kiss the book's ass more. Or whatnot.
The film was also way too fucking long. Like Skyfall was long, but it still had better pacing.
Yeah.
Spectre was just.
And plus, Javier Bardem. I mean, come on, the villain. With the whole. I mean, he left an impression. He left a lasting impression.
Yeah, like the opposite of Jaws.
I agree. It is like it's like an expensive episode of Miami Vice. Yeah.
Hey.
Because it takes place in Miami. That's right. Good stuff there.
So let's go into.
What's your favorite? What was your favorite Bond?
GoldenEye. I would say GoldenEye is my favorite.
Okay, that's a good one too.
Yeah, then Spy Who Loved Me and Tomorrow Never Dies. Those are up there.
Okay.
But let's go to some horror stuff.
Oh, cool.
Underrated one, The Relic.
Very good.
I'll share my thoughts a little bit later. I gotta go hit the head. I'll be back.
All right, no problem.
Don't let
Don't
the
forget-
relic in you.
Don't forget to wash your hands now. There you go. Oh man.
But yeah, the Relic I saw on VHS. Underrated. Peter Hyams is underrated director as
He is. He is.
Stay Tuned. He did Running Scared.
I love
Billy
Running
Crystal. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I said I love Running Scared. I mean, Outland,
End of Days.
End of Days, The Star Chamber, Michael Douglas, very underrated one. Time Cop. I mean, the guy has a good track record, unlike his son, James. James. Yeah, very underrated director, very talented too. Sudden Death, I didn't mind as well.
Yeah.
Such End of Days and everything. But The Relic, a very good creature feature movie. I know he's a big fan of Ridley Scott's Alien.
Mm-hmm.
That's, I think, why he wanted to film it in a certain way, which I know got lost in the translation, I believe, when it went to VHS and cable. Yeah. So then with the Blu-ray, I heard he was able to fix that. I don't have the Blu-ray, so
very dark film.
Yeah, and such.
And it's cool. It's based on a book. Never read the book. It's a monster in the museum. Simple enough idea, but cool setup.
Mm-hmm.
Todd Sizemore, my favorite role of his.
Yeah, mine's
too. Very superstitious police officer.
Yeah.
Clayton Roner's in the film.
Yeah.
From April Fool's Day and Just One of the Guys. He does a good job.
Yeah.
In a supporting role. Some great Stan Winston practical effects.
Yeah. Penelope Ann Miller's not bad in the role. I mean, granted, I agree with what you said one time. The same year we had Mimic, Mira Sorvino would have been a better choice. But, like even you said one time, Demi Moore. Like if Demi Moore didn't do Striptease, which I saw that recently. That's a fun movie.
She did G.I. Jane this year.
She did same year, yeah, which we're going to tackle onto that, I bet, soon. But
Penelope Ann Miller's okay, but yeah, I think if Mira Sorvino didn't do Mimic and she was in that, or Demi Moore, maybe even Sandra Bullock or someone else.
Sandra Bullock would have been great. Sandra Bullock should have did this film instead of Speed 2.
Yeah.
Sandra Bullock would have been great.
But it's a pretty cool creature feature flick, and I like the design of the creature, thanks to Stan Winston and his team.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I said I like the cinematography, Peter Hyams' dark style to it. I see the museum and the Creature Feature Museum, different location for it.
I mean, it does have its CGI issues, but I think the way it's filmed in the darkness, you don't notice it as much as other movies where they put more light on it. You know, so being in the dark made a big difference.
And at least it mixes with practical.
Yeah, so it's a good mash and stuff. And plus the big twist, which I don't want to give away, of what the creature is made of.
Yeah,
I thought that was pretty interesting, you know. And whatnot.
I know it's based on a book. I know there are fans of the book who hate the movie because it's nothing like the book. You know, that's kind of the norm when it comes to some of these adaptations.
Congo.
Yeah, I love Congo.
And I love Congo. I think Congo is a really underrated film in its own right.
Yeah,
The Relic, it was like a blind watch for me, if I remember correctly. I think I rented it from the local library, and I was like, I saw the cover, you know, with the screaming red face or whatever, and I looked at the back, and I was like, read the synopsis, and it was like Stan Winston and all. I've never even heard of this movie, and then I watched it, and I remember like not minding it, but not like loving it at first. But then I revisited it, and then I was like, okay, this is really good. But that was like when I was older, and I'd already seen like a ton of other.
Well, what do you like about it?
What I really like about the film, in some ways, is I do like the setting. I do like how it takes place in the museum. I think that's a really cool idea. Mm-hmm. And I like the fact that it combines, like, you know, the crime thriller kind of thing. It makes you kind of think it's going to be like a crime thriller, but then it turns into more of like a science fiction horror kind of film. I really like Tom Sizemore. I really like his performance in this. I think it's easily probably my favorite performance of his.
Yeah,
definitely one of the best.
Yeah,
You were
we're
mentioning
of
that,
his
yeah.
career.
the three of us are in one mind when it comes to Tom Sizemore in this film. Yeah,
And of course, the direction by Peter Hyams, just really
Yeah.
capable, really strong stuff. And the
I
creature,
like
I like the
his-
design. I think it's a unique creature feature, and the fact that the design of the creatures is pretty unique. And
yeah.
so yeah, it's definitely something that I really do like. I do have it on Blu-ray. I just put it in the DVD case because I
That's
like
cool.
that cover art more. I don't
Yeah.
like the cover art for that's another Blu-ray where the cover art kind of sucks, to be honest.
And a cool
Yeah.
way where it kills people, where it, like grabs people and just tears the head
Yeah.
off.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, great way.
What-
That
Yeah.
kill that always gets me is when the SWAT team comes in and that one poor guy.
Yeah.
It made me think of the scene in Alligator. Well, you have a similar scene like that, but for some reason in this movie it seemed more disturbing. I don't know why, because it was a good mix. The poor guy, pull me up, and then all of a sudden goes up there, so you see his face, and then they do cut away, and then the guy who finds his body like that screams, grown man.
Yeah.
I mean, in regular to be like, but you know, like, okay, fuck, this creature ain't fucking around. You know.
Also,
very good stuff.
This is another one of those films where I think it deserved better when it came out, and it also deserves better now in terms of its treatment on home video. Like, yeah, it had a Blu-ray. It went out of print for a while. They re-released it, so now it's easier to get, like they did with the Phantom and some of the other Paramount films. But it's still bare bones for the most part. It still has the same transfer. Like, this is something like I think it should get a Paramount Presents release.
You
You
should.
know, like what they've been doing with Breakdown. They should do
Yeah.
one with the Relic.
Well, if the Blu-ray's
Or-
still in print, it won't be getting that then.
I know
like
that sucks though.
Yeah. If Paramount Presents, I think they did one for Days of Thunder.
No, they did
as
one
well.
for Airplane,
Really?
and that was already
Wow.
the Blu-ray was out. So they might do one. There's a potential they could do it.
They did. I think they did 48 hours and another 48 hours as well.
Yeah, they did 48 hours. They did.
But
trading
is there
places.
a big audience for them?
That's
to
the only
one?
I
thing.
don't know.
That's the only.
They're
That's the
doing
tricky
Ghost in the
part.
Darkness. I know they're doing that.
Yeah.
Or Shout Factory's doing that actually.
Somebody's
Shout
doing
Factory's
it. Somebody's doing it.
Ghost in the Darkness.
I know it got an unofficial. People are saying there's a movie that's coming out that's similar to that called Beast, with bad CGI.
I saw the trailer for that and I didn't like
Bad
it.
CGI.
And
Bad
I
CGI.
I left a comment. I'm like, I saw this movie already. It was called Ghost in the Darkness.
A lot of people are saying the same thing. Same exact thing. Shantan Copley and Idris Alba.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I
It's
mean,
CGI. I'm sorry. I can't.
Bad
I
CGI.
can't get into a film that deals with lions.
it's
And it's
computerized
supposed to be
lines.
suspenseful and tense and scary if it's all fake. I'm sorry. I just,
Yeah.
It looks worse than any CGI in this movie. And this
Yeah.
at least has practical effects. mixed
Yeah.
in.
Because at least here you could make the argument in defense of it. You could say that, well, this is back in the late mid '90s when CGI was in the infancy, almost getting there.
And like
But-
you mentioned, he films a lot in the dark as well.
Yeah,
'cause
in the dark to hide it, to side of it. When you're dealing with lions, you can't film that in the dark.
No.
Even that one
Maybe-
was it Megan Fox? That one that
Yeah.
came out.
Rogue.
That had that, yeah, another Rogue.
Maybe
Yeah.
the Relic. Maybe Paramount might do a 4K. I mean, horror is pretty popular. Like a lot of bestsellers on Blu-ray and 4K are horror.
Yeah.
films. So it would be smart for them to do that. I know they're doing one for Event Horizon, which I already
Wow.
pre-ordered.
That's cool. That's cool. But this movie here, Peter Hyams, like I said, I was telling Matt before, he's a very talented director.
Yeah.
A lot of great films he's given us. But I can say he's got more talent on him over the years than his son, John Hyams. You always make
Yeah.
fun of him. John Hyams. Fucking shitty director.
John
He did-
Heine.
John Heine. There you go. That's a better one. John Heine. Yeah, John Heine. Yeah, because he's a Heine, pretty much. Yeah, Peter Hyams is way better. Way better. He didn't learn nothing from his father. Did not learn nothing at all. Oh, man. Do you have a favorite Peter Hyams movie? I can ask you guys this.
I have to think
It's a
about his
tough one.
filmography
He
again.
has a big filmography. Very big. I mean, with me, it's always tough because I love Outland, but I also love Running
Outland is
Scared.
great.
I love Running Scared a lot.
I'll say End of Days for me.
End of Days is another underrated one. End of Days.
For me, End
He's a
of Days.
fucking choir boy compared to me. A choir boy.
Arnold's performance is top notch. Very underrated performance by Arnold. Very underrated performance. Time Cop will be up there.
Oh, I forgot he directed that. That might be
Yeah,
my
Time
favorite
Cop.
then.
Time Cop he did. And what else? Narrow Margin. That's a good one. That's one
That's an
that.
excellent thriller. Terrific
Yeah.
film. Love it.
Gene Hackman kick your ass. You know, Gene Hackman. Gene Hackman kick your ass. Funny enough, earlier today they were airing Mississippi Burning, and I was thinking about that Fletch Lives thing with the Zulu, Zulu. I was thinking about that, started laughing, especially when Gene Hackman is beating up Brad Dourif. Gene Hackman kick your ass. That's it. Oh man.
But yeah, Mississippi Burning though that is a really good film.
Yeah,
Great
Gene Hackman kick your ass.
Yeah.
Gene Hackman kick your ass in that movie. That's it.
But what is your favorite Peter Hyams?
I was a tough one. God, I posed the question. Now I gotta think which one. Oh God, I'll be bold enough to say, actually, Time Cop, because I love time traveling movies if it's done right, and just that ending where older Van Damme sees what's happening to younger Van Damme. How many of us wouldn't want to go back in time, see your younger self getting attacked or beaten up, and getting the guy and throwing him a fucking beating?
Yeah.
Here's what I would love to do the whole thing where it's see my younger self try to jaywalk across the street to catch a bus. I'd try to stop myself from doing that so I don't get hit by a fucking car and
well, there you go.
Land face first on the asphalt and have to deal with all that. That's it. That's what I would do. I'd probably don't do that.
God bless you, still with us, man. That was a crazy. Thank you, you're still with us, man. Oh man, you can't touch yourself because you do that. The same, like, not like that. I'm talking about the Time Cop thing, you know. You can touch yourself any way you want, but I'm talking about the Time Cop thing. You know how you say the matter can't touch, but weapons of our existence.
Yeah,
we can all touch ourselves. It's okay. It's you. It's nothing else. But anyway,
that's the title of the video now. Don't touch yourself.
That'll be the quote. Yeah.
That's the sequel to Don't Touch This.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go. Leave yourself alone. That's it. Yeah. That's it. Oh God. But Time Cop can be there. Time Cop.
Yeah, Time Cop is up there. So is The Relic and Outland.
It's Running Scared. I love Running Scared. You ever seen Running Scared?
I like Running Scared, but I it's not like one of my favorites of his. Like I liked it, but I didn't like love the movie.
Mm-hmm. Okay, it's fair.
I did review the film.
That's cool.
It's on Blu-ray from Kino Lorber, but it's not really like it's not full of features or anything. It's which is surprising because it was a hit film. It was a pretty successful film for MGM.
Yeah, and Billy Crystal. They wanted to do sequels to it.
Yeah,
Billy Crystal, Gregory Hines. They didn't like the scripts. I'm sure. I would love someone to one day ask Billy Crystal while he's still with us about the film. Yeah, it'd be nice to hear because he gets about a ton of questions about City Slickers.
I don't
about
know
all the
if he
other
talks
movies.
about it in his autobiography or not. I did buy his autobiography. Maybe he talks about it in that.
Because they had to like it if they wanted to do another one, but they just didn't like any of the scripts. That was like the problem and such. Him and Gregory Hines didn't like any of the scripts they kept giving him. So it's got to be he had a whole.
Who directed? I'm trying to remember who directed Wolfen. Who directed Wolfen again?
Some asshole.
It wasn't Peter Hyams.
No, it wasn't Peter Hyams. Yeah, Peter Hyams calling you up now. There you go. I didn't
do Wolfen.
By the way, The Relic, fun creature feature film.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh, 2010. You should bring up 2010.
I never seen 2010. Then again, I never seen 2001, so I can't comment on it. I know Matt loves those movies a lot. So
2010, Sudden Death, with Van Damme, The Presidio.
Presidio was okay. That was always an okay one. Star Chamber is very underrated. I like Star Chamber.
And Stay Tuned.
Stay Tuned's a good one. That's a good one. Stay Tuned. Yeah. That'll probably be on the top 5. Time Cop, Stay Tuned, Outland, Running Scared, Narrow Margin. I think that was 5, right? Or that was 4, I think. I would say The Relic will be in there.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. So that'd be like 5 right there. And such. I lose count sometimes. There you go.
So with after that, for those out there, we'll probably be on for another 30 minutes, and we'll get through what we can. If not, at least we've gone through quite a bit of
Yeah.
97 films. Some of the stuff to mention, Batman and Robin, might as well be called Batman and Robin.
I saw that in the theater.
Dog shit.
That's
I
what
saw-
another film I saw in the theater.
I saw Batman Forever in the theater, and that was an overrated film that
And
year.
I had the toys. I was around the age for, you know,
Of course.
the target demographic for Batman and Robin. So, you know, I bought into the toyetic, you know, hype or whatever for
Right.
the film. I had a ton of Batman and Robin toys.
They
And
had the nipples on it?
actually- Yeah, I think
Yeah,
I don't know if they did or not. They probably did.
And
I
the
know
cookies,
Bane,
they can- yeah.
like Bane in the toy form looked cooler than he did in the movie. And then on top of that,
Mike did,
yeah, fell for the WB trap.
There you go.
Mr. Freeze looked weird. For some reason, like there were Mr. Freeze action figures that they had Arnold's face, but they were all like skinny buff.
He couldn't get the biceps. He
Yeah,
clapping
just
the toys, and he get the purses. Then he do the bars.
Yeah.
He did the I look better as the Terminator than the Mr. Freeze. Mr. Freeze,
With
girly
the
man.
dinosaurs, the
Ice
Ice Age.
Age.
It's like no,
No.
dinosaurs weren't
Anybody,
even alive
chill.
during the Ice Age.
It's too
but-
long. Too long of movies. Too long.
I admit it. I watched Batman and Robin probably the most out of all of the Batman films when I was a kid on VHS. And I watched Batman and Batman Returns a lot too, and Forever. But I probably would say, regrettably, it was Batman and Robin. But, you know, that's the kind of thing. It was the kids, flashing colors and, you know, all this and whatever. And
the hockey team from hell. Yes. the
as
hockey
an
team with
adult, I
skates.
can't stand this fucking movie. I hate Batman and Robin. I did a rant on it. I really do not like that film.
I mean, I saw it when it premiered on cable. I didn't go to a theater for this one. I mean, I went to see Batman Forever with my brother. That's about it, because he wanted to see it. So we wanted to go see that. I wanted to see Die Hard with a Vengeance. No, I wanted to go see Batman Forever. So fine, we go to Batman Forever. Saw it. Was there, but I thought there were better films that came out that year that are better than that movie. That movie, nobody would shut up about 1995. Batman Forever. Okay, good for you. Great. So then
I just don't know if I saw Forever in the theater. I know I had like a Batman Forever coloring book, and I do remember watching the film a lot in VHS, but I don't really remember if I did actually see it in the theater. But I know I saw Batman and Robin in the theater.
Yeah, but that movie just
That was
never
some
got
steak.
me. Well, there you go.
I
Yeah, I
saw a
saw-
lot of shitty films from this year in the theater. Now that I think about it, it was Spawn, Mortal Kombat, Annihilation, Batman and Robin.
Yeah, it happens to the best of us, man. I mean, I got my uncle to take me to see Alien 3. Yeah, I told you that story when we did the
Yeah,
commentary. You remember
yeah.
that? I put newspaper clippings everywhere,
Uh-huh.
to the refrigerator, to the bathroom, by the toilet paper. Okay, let's go see Alien 3. And we go see it, and we were like, it's kind of good, but not really. But we were like in denial. We were like, okay, we're like, and then afterwards, fuck this movie. It sucks. It's like, fuck this movie, it sucks. But I understand what you mean by that. It happens to the best of us. You know
Batman and
what?
Robin, I feel bad for Joel Schumacher the most. Like
True.
when it comes to this film, he did a job. He was asked to make it more toyetic or whatever. He did what they asked him to, and he to this day is still judged by Batman and Robin, and I think that's just completely unfair and bullshit.
It is unfair because the man has given us good films. I mean, The Lost Boys, Phone Booth,
Flatliners,
Falling Down, one of his best, Falling Down. I mean, even A Time to Kill, I never minded A Time to Kill, very good movie and whatnot. I mean, he gets a bum rap, sadly.
Didn't he do 8mm too?
8mm, very underrated
Yeah.
one. Thank you for bringing
Yeah.
that one up, 8mm. And I know he apologized on that documentary. He said, I'm sorry for this, but I cannot put all the blame on him. He was doing what he was told to do. The studio people and the producers should be apologizing, not really him.
And George Clooney.
And George Clooney, well, once again, he admitted he was the worst Batman. I mean, because once again, they basically wanted him to be Adam West Batman.
Yeah.
That's basically what they did. They wanted
But the thing is, Adam West still had charisma and charm and energy.
Yeah.
Like,
it fit with the time period. It worked
and
in
also,
the 60s.
like I said, Adam West had charisma. George Clooney, he's got charisma. You know he does in other films he's been in, but it's just absent in Batman and Robin. Like, it's nowhere to be found.
And in the same year, George Clooney did a better job in The Peacemaker.
Yes, true. Yeah. That's an underrated one. I remember not minding The Peacemaker.
Which came out this year from the director would do.
And Arnold was just horribly miscast as Mr. Freeze. It just was not a good fit. And I know Uma Thurman, people like try to say, "Oh, she was good. She was one of the good things." But I thought she was awful in this. Like, she was trying way too hard to be sexy to the point it was cringe-inducing to watch.
Well, are you?
I would say he had charisma when it comes to being Bruce Wayne. As Batman, no, not so
much.
See, that's there you go.
As Bruce Wayne, yes. But no, sorry, no. I can't do it. I can't do it. Sorry. Sorry. I can't do it. Nah.
The more you do it, Jeffrey, you cause your camera to
your testicles to
tear up your body. Yeah, exactly. It's like Christian Bale's fucking up this camera. That's what you want me funny.
Robin, it's
flash your lights.
It's got bad credit cards. It got Pussy Robin. Freeze is an idiot.
Bane being lame and just growling and grunting.
Uma Thurman, to be honest, I honestly feel. I mean, Uma Thurman, I don't think you needed Poison Ivy in the film. You didn't need Poison Ivy. One villain would have been enough.
And Robin's just annoying. Yeah. I don't like Robin and Batman either.
He's whining a lot. He's whining a lot. In the last film, I could deal with Chris O'Donnell as Robin. And then they try to squeeze in Batgirl. Then they squeeze in Alfred as dying. I mean, Alicia Silverstone, she had this big hit with Clueless, which I still haven't seen to this day.
I legitimately like Clueless. I like the film.
I've never seen it. I've never seen it. I've never even seen the show. So I'm the odd man out. I've never seen Clueless.
So you're clueless.
I never seen Clueless.
You're clueless about Clueless.
Yeah, I've never seen it. One day, the movie and the show of Clueless, I've never seen.
I didn't know there was a TV show.
A lot of people haven't seen Clueless, the TV show, so you're not.
Stacey Dash is in it, and I believe the other guy, I think Columbus Short, he's in it, I believe, from the movie. And that's about it. Then they recast everybody else. From what I understand. But
it was the end show, I think.
Yeah, it was. But Uma Thurman just felt out of place, and then what did it? She followed this up with what? The Avengers, not the Marvel one, the other one.
Yeah, 98, yeah.
So her track record away from Quentin was sorry. It's a bad ship she's been in. I don't
know. Speaking of DC comic book films from 1997, you have Steel, which honestly I think might be worse than Batman and Robin. As bad as Batman and Robin is.
It is, especially who wrote and directed it. I don't know if he wrote it, but I know who directed it. Kenneth Johnson. This is the guy who gave us the Incredible Hulk from back in the day. TV series. Kenneth Johnson. He also directed Short Circuit 2.
Yeah.
And
the thing with Steel, Batman and Robin sucks, but there's a certain spectacle. Like I think it does have some pretty decent visual effects and art direction.
I don't remember Steel. I just know Shaq was in it, and he looked like a bozo.
Yeah,
and was fucking awful. Was
Judd Nelson in it?
He's a bad guy.
He plays a bad guy, and he's hamming it up and going over
Richard Roundtree is in there. Shaft himself, the original Shaft. Yes. Richard Roundtree's in there.
I think it's Annabeth Gish. Is it Annabeth Gish? I think who plays Oracle. I could be. It could be.
I barely remember. But all I know is the dialogue with "It's hammer time."
Yes, god damn it.
Steel basically is Tony Stark on a lower scale.
Yes.
You want to see Steel done right? The 2008 Iron Man movie did that. See, that's what it is, and it just doesn't work. It's very cartoonish.
Shaq is shitty. He's so fucking bad. Yeah. He has no on-screen presence.
He doesn't.
He can't carry the film.
I think what it is, they saw him in Blue Chips. They figured, Why not give him a movie? And like that's not. And then he's talking shit during this time period.
Yeah.
Going to parties where Arnold is at. I want T3 Arnold. Arnold, I want T3. If he would have been a T3, forget about it. He would have fucked it up. He would have shit the bed.
He would have made Terminator 3 twice
worse.
as terrible.
Yeah, I mean, I can deal with T3 for what it
Or
is.
3 times as
But
terrible.
it would have made it worse. He would have made it worse. I mean, he wouldn't have helped matters. Imagine him fighting fucking. He was doing that. He was going to parties with signs. Arnold, T3.
Shaq shows personality and charisma on the court, and he is good in Blue Chips, but none of that's in Steel. Like, the character that he plays in this is just so lifeless and wooden, and on top of that, he's just so stiff. He's so stiff and just can't barely move.
Just go back, Chad, to selling those insurance commercials and Papa John's Pizza and have Charles Barkley kick your ass.
And then on top of on top of all of that,
Charles Barkley would have been a better Steel, maybe. Think about it, right?
I don't think anyone. Here's the other thing with Steel. It's so cheap looking. It's got a budget, but it doesn't look like it at all. It looks like a pilot episode for a TV show.
Because there's a TV director doing it. The TV director doing it. That's why
wise, you need someone like Ving Rhames.
Yes.
That's true. Ving Rhames, I probably could have pulled it off.
But the script and the director didn't really do action.
No.
Like
the script sucks too. I mean, you got a whole scene where like shoots a free throw with a grenade.
And his whole thing is he can't. The whole inside joke he can't do through free throws.
Yeah,
it's like Dennis Rodman and Double Team, which came out the same year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think what it is.
Double Team's a fucking masterpiece compared to Steel.
I agree.
Just steal your balls and steal your time.
I haven't seen Double Team in years, but I don't know. I'll give it another shot one day. But all I know is these guys, whether it be Shaq, whether it be Rodman, they saw Michael Jordan's paycheck for Space Jam. That was a big hit, and they said, we could do that shit too," and they couldn't do it. They couldn't do it.
Despite me dragging my dad to see Kazam.
Well,
surprised I didn't drag him to see Steel too.
Well,
but I saw Spawn.
Learned his lesson from Kazam, I guess.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Spawn because that's a '97 comic book film.
Michael Jai White, in fairness, his acting isn't bad. I know he's mentioned in an interview that the original cut of the film, without the spectacle of the CGI, was more darker.
Mm-hmm.
But somebody higher up, I don't know, there was another director in charge before they got the special effects guy who did it, wanted more spectacle. So then you got all these CGI shit and everything. And
yeah, Mark DePay is
something like
Mark Dipstick.
Yeah. I think Michael Jai White, he's proud of the film, but he understands why people have problems with it, though. I think there was an interview with him I saw.
He shouldn't be proud of the film. It sucks.
Well,
I think
people remember him more from that.
Be proud of Blood and Bone, fine. Be proud of Undisputed 2, fine.
I could still watch Spawn. I can watch Spawn like as a time waster. I don't think it's as bad.
Leguizamo is annoying as hell.
He is. He's awful. He's so bad
underwear.
in that film as the clown.
Especially if you watch that movie and you watch the HBO animated series, which I used to watch on late night.
It doesn't even hold a candle.
That's what I'm saying. The animated series, you see the way that clown's performance is, and you measure it next to John Leguizamo. That's what the character is supposed to be played. Intense. That's so jokey, but intimidating. John Leguizamo's character is not intimidating when he's farting and doing a green shit stain. That's not intimidating.
And the action scenes aren't good in Spawn. Either terrible dated CGI for a guy who's an effects guy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The suit looks cool, I think, a bit.
I love the suit. I think the suit looks great. I think, and a lot of other people thought so too because they stole the suit from the set.
Wow.
I still don't know who stole it. Somebody fucking stole like a couple suits.
But the writing is really bad. It didn't even get a handle on the powers. Like,
no,
I know he has a limit, but it didn't really feel that way. But it seems like he could do everything, and I think that's more handled better in the source material. Here it's like, what the fuck is he? Like, what can he do? What can he not do? Can he do this? Can he do that? Why can't he do this now?
And the
The
editing is so like
Because there was reshoots. That's why.
cool. It's not just that; it's the transitions. Like like there's these transition shots that are just try hard bullshit of some director or somebody working on the film who just got access to got access to
It's a Van Damme
or whatever.
It's a Van Damme Dennis Rodman
star
movie.
wipes and shit.
It's a Van Damme Dennis Rodman movie, Marco. It came out in 1997. Van Damme does not remember the film because during the time period, Van Damme was on drugs and he was high as a kite.
Yeah.
And he fights Mickey Rourke. So that's double team.
I don't have much to say about Spawn other than I can watch it. I know you don't like it. I get it.
No,
It's kind of a guilty pleasure, I guess, for me.
But, I look at the film, I go, it's a problematic movie. But if I had to pick if I'm gonna watch that or Batman and Robin, sadly,
oh yeah,
I would watch Spawn over Batman and Robin. Sadly,
good soundtrack.
I admit it.
I think it's got a good soundtrack.
Yeah, Crystal Method's "Trip Like I Do," and that other song, "A Long Ride Through Hell." I think that's I think that's the one by 9 Inch Nails. I think of Trent Reznor. Marilyn Manson. Yeah, long trip.
Let's do a quick speed run through some of the other bigger films in '97. The Lost World, Jurassic Park.
I don't like it.
I don't like it either.
Really?
I like the first and third one. The second one I thought was disappointing.
Really?
It opens up with Jeff Goldblum's character yawning on the bus station. I thought that was a perfect.
I've never been big on
how I feel about The Lost World with the opening shot of Jeff Goldblum going. Like that's how I feel about The Lost World.
My mind is blown here because I'm always the odd guy out when it comes to Jurassic Park movies. I mean, I like the third one.
Yeah.
I didn't waste my time with the newer films, which I know the latest one's gonna have Sam Neill.
I liked Fallen Kingdom for what it was. I liked The Lost World.
I know the latest one is gonna have Sam Neill and Laura Dern coming back along with Jeff Goldblum, Dominion. Yeah. But I was never that big into Jurassic Park. The first movie I saw in the theater, it was a nice experience in the theater, but I want to see a raptor and a T-Rex get his head blown off with a shotgun, but we don't get that because we can't have that, sadly. But Lost World, I thought you guys were like the big Jurassic Park trilogy guys. Like you love that. I didn't know you guys didn't like Lost World. Really, I was never into Lost World either, because the T-Rex goes to Los Angeles or California or San Francisco, fucks up some shit, and he gets captured. Wow, that's it.
I mean, I like that scene. I like the T-Rex in the city. I think that's a fun sequence. But that's honestly one of the few memorable things about it, at least in terms of like a positive thing. I mean, yeah, it's got some decent effects. There are some moments of spectacle. You have that one scene with the baby T-Rex in the RV or whatever. There's some decent suspense there, but I think that dragged on a little too long. I think they should have trimmed that down a bit. And then the climax with the gymnast kicking a raptor in the face, like I don't like the climax of the film, and I think it's too long.
It is a longer movie. I remember the pacing being bad with this. Like the first movie, I would give it the pacing was faster with the first film. Even the third film, I would say the pacing was better.
Of course, Men in Black. That's another '97 film.
I'm gonna hear it now. Here we go. Go for it, guys. You do
what? I love Men in Black.
I know you do. I know Matt does, but I guarantee there's gonna be someone say, "What's your Men in Black?" Okay, all right. Look, I saw the film. Now it's not the film's fault. I will admit that. I saw the film in a very, very horrible demo version VHS. The effects were not finished.
Oh, wow.
So it was a horrible way to see the film. I know it's my fault. Okay, fine. I saw the film when it hit VHS, regular release, and whatnot. I looked at it and I shrugged my fucking shoulders. I admit it. Because I loved Independence Day. I like Tommy Lee Jones. I like Will Smith. But, okay, I appreciate the story it's telling. But I just like Bright more. I'm sorry. I like Wawa West more. Yes, and I know I'm gonna see it.
Okay.
I know there's gonna be fun. Right. I know there's gonna be. I know it. I can't
agree with Wawa West.
I can't agree with Wawa West.
I know.
That's
I'm the
wild.
odd.
That's
I'm the
wild,
odd.
actually.
I am the odd pendejo out. I know. Okay, I admit it.
It's cool.
I know. But to be fair, I'm not saying it to save my ass. People might say I'm saying to save my ass. One day, I want to revisit all three films. I mean, to be fair, I remember liking the second one a little bit more. But that's me. That's just me. I know no one likes the second film. Everybody, I think, had mixed things about the third film or whatnot. It's just, at the time, I like my Will Smith R-rated.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. I mean, he's okay. He's okay in Men in Black. He says a little bad words here and there, but I just like that
What about
R-rated.
Independence Day?
Independence Day, he's good. I mean, despite the whole this is how that for Close Encounter. Some of the stuff, because I know they must have told him to say that, but I like Independence Day. I'll probably put that above more. I mean, granted, Men in Black, he's more front and center. It's him and Tommy Lee Jones. Independence Day, he's sharing it with Jeff Goldblum. He's sharing it with everybody else. And of course,
I think I also saw Men in Black in the theater. The more I think about it, I think I saw that in the theater too.
And
I saw
everybody loved it so much in 1997. The song "Man in Black," you couldn't escape it.
Mm-hmm.
It was everywhere. It's almost as bigger than Titanic, but Titanic had the awards and the box office and everything. But
when did Mask of Zorro come out? Was that 90? I think it's 96.
98.
98. Okay, year
98.
later, yeah.
98. What year after that? Yeah.
Let me just answer this question first, since he sent in.
Yeah. Good.
No, just yes, I did get them. It's for episode 1 and 2 of season 4. I did get it.
Good luck.
Good
Was
luck,
it
Matt.
an hour and a half? 2 hours?
Each episode is like 70 minutes long.
Yeah, it is.
I saw them, the 2 episodes. It's bloated. I didn't hate it. I think it's better than the previous season, but it's bloated as fuck. Anyway.
Yeah.
But what are your thoughts, Matt, on Men in Black? Like
He loves it.
Didn't really love
He
Men in
loves
Black.
it. He loves
I
it.
do. I think it's fun. I think Tommy Lee Jones and Will Smith work well together. I liked the plot of the film. I like the story. I like the different designs of the creatures.
Yeah,
It's
the
a
tech,
fun comedy.
the tech is really cool too.
I think it's the best of the 3. International's the worst.
Yeah, of course.
Second one I'm not big on. The third one I liked, despite it being confusing because I don't know how
Yeah.
Will Smith
Yeah.
was, his young self was that young, but yet it's like in the 60s. Or how old is Will Smith?
Yeah.
That was a bit.
Men in
confusing.
Black also, like, it had a good plot. There's a lot of creativity, a lot of imagination. The action was a lot of fun. Barry Sonnenfeld did a great job with the direction. And Tommy Lee Jones and Will Smith just had absolutely fantastic chemistry.
Yeah.
I do
And it
want to
had some
mention
good quotes too.
Yeah.
You know, like that whole quote about people. You know, how people are crazy and judgmental. And,
Yeah, person smart people are dumb.
yeah. Which, to be honest, Will Smith should have taken the advice from Men in Black.
You should have. You should have.
It should not have been so impulsive on Oscar night.
Yeah, indeed.
Since we have about 15 minutes left, just to mention some films. Metro, gotta mention that.
Yes.
Underrated Eddie Murphy film.
Yeah, I love Metro. The real Beverly Hills Cop 3.
Yes, absolutely.
Love
Great
that.
villain by Michael Wincott.
Yeah.
Remember when I first saw that, like, on VHS, I didn't know a whole lot about it. I was just like, oh, it's an Eddie Murphy movie. I like Eddie Murphy. And then I was just really surprised by it. I was like, this is a good movie. I really liked it.
And what if he wanted to be like Wesley Snipes? That was the right movie, the right role for it. Metro
That's
was the
another
right
one that deserves a Blu-ray.
What?
Like, I'm hoping Metro.
Metro,
I'm
yeah.
hoping,
Of
it
course.
sounds like a Kino Lorber thing, like Hollywood Pictures.
It's
Something that
Touchstone.
Kino Lorber could do.
I think it is Touchstone Pictures, sadly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Touchstone.
Or
Pictures.
Hollywood, or was it Hollywood?
No, it's Touchstone.
I didn't-
Touchstone
I
Pictures.
thought it was Hollywood Pictures. I thought it was Hollywood. I thought it was Hollywood Pictures.
They were connected. They were connected to Buena Vista, so I know they were between them and Caravan Pictures. I believe they were the sub thing of Disney. I believe, but they should do it. They should do it. Yeah,
Metro was released in January. It was a January film.
it was.
Yeah.
Sadly, that movie bombed badly, and Eddie went to the money movies with Doctor Dolittle, which that came out the same year. And that was
I like
Yeah,
I like,
Touchstone
yeah.
Pictures.
yeah.
You're right. Cool.
Yeah. So it's a very underrated film. I love the film a lot. I mean,
Eddie's hilarious in that, but he's
yeah,
also really
intense.
good in the moments when he's being intense, like with the scene with Michael Wincott in the
Yeah.
in the
You ain't
prison.
in Naples, motherfucker. You ain't in Naples. I catch you. He's dead, man. You ain't in Naples. Come on, mess with me, motherfucker. Do that thing like that. Hey, throw the
Yeah.
ticket. You ain't in Naples. Yeah, very intense. Like Eddie could pull it off. He could be right in your face. Shit.
Yeah, it showed that he could do comedy and seriousness in the same movie. Like you said,
Yeah.
much better than Beverly Hills Cop 3.
Yeah.
And one of those films that Sister Lever gave 2 thumbs up, same with The Relic. They gave 2
Wow.
thumbs up.
There you
But
go.
it flopped. It was a bad month. There are films in January that have worked. I mean, Bad Boys 3 was a hit.
Yeah.
But that was a very rare occasion. And also, Eddie Murphy at this time, sadly, audiences didn't want to see that. They wanted to see more Nutty Professors,
Well,
more
Dr. Doolittle. Yeah.
That was what the audience now wanted from Eddie, despite
Yeah.
what we have to say. But I think
Yeah.
Metro, it's the Eddie we prefer, and
Yeah.
it would be his
Eddie.
last
The
great film in a while.
It's the last great Eddie Murphy film for me,
Yeah.
at least until Dolomite Is My Name.
Yeah.
Because that was also really good.
Yeah, he was great in that. Dolomite was I wish that had a Blu-ray. I would love to get that one.
Fucking Netflix, man. Probably never will happen.
Yeah, sons of bitches,
No.
man. Oh God. I think the same year, didn't we have The Saint? Well, that was 96.
I know Air Force One.
Air
Air Force One. Yeah. What
Air
happened?
Force One came out in 97. That's one of
Air
my
Force-
favorite Harrison
Yeah.
Ford films.
Beautiful score. Yeah, the same terrible Val Kilmer movie. He wanted to steal Tom Cruise's fucking Thunder, because the following year, Mission Impossible was a big hit. So somebody must have told Val Kilmer previous year. Yeah, sorry, previous. Whoops, my mistake. I get fucked up sometimes, you know that. But he saw that money. He said, "You know what? He's doing that. I want to do something from the '60s too, a show that nobody barely fucking remembers."
And that's why he didn't do Batman and Robin, is because of
Yeah.
That's Val Kilmer. Val Kilmer's not gonna.
Of course. I never cared for The Saint, and I don't even think anyone remembers the show. I think the first episode had Roger Moore as the Saint. It was like a black and white thing.
You have Air Force One, which is one
Classic.
of my favorites from '97. One of my favorite Harrison Ford films. Great president.
Yeah, my favorite
we
movie.
wish we had a president like that, right?
Yeah. I know when this guy won, I think he tried to use the music from this movie, which pissed people off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that.
Yeah,
he
I
used music
remember
for this
that.
movie.
Yeah.
You son of a bitch. Using that music, really? You stealing
You were-
music from that president? Wow. But a great
Get off
film.
my plane.
And
And of course, great direction by Wolfgang Peterson.
Yeah.
And good performances by the rest of the cast.
Gary Oldman was a GOAT in that movie. He was vicious, villain. I mean, knocked it out the park. And what
He's right up there to me with Hans Gruber in Die Hard.
He is. Gary Oldman, at this time period, I mean, he was doing these type of roles.
97. That was a good year for Oldman playing bad guys, like Air Force One, and then The
Fifth
Fifth
Element.
Element.
Fifth Element's a decent one.
The Fifth Element, that was the 97 film.
That was the one.
I saw that in the theater. I did see that in the theater. Great experience.
That must have been really cool.
Yeah,
like
because
it was like one of those things, like you weren't even necessarily prepared, I guess, for like what you were about to witness. You were just
no, I mean, I had
that
seen
looks
the
cool.
trailer, and I
Yeah,
really
the trailer.
liked it. And I was like 14 at the time, and it's a beautiful looking movie. I love the visual aesthetic of it. It's Bruce Willis. I love his role in it. I just really enjoy it took me into another world where all these different creatures, and that was a movie that I loved growing up and became one of my favorite Bruce Willis films because I loved his character. It was like it was cool to see Bruce Willis get to do the sci-fi action angle and have that sense of humor. Mila Jovovich did fine, which shows you give her less lines, she's a better actress.
Wow.
But that's just the truth, in my opinion. And I love The Fifth Element.
It's his
Gary Oldman
25th
was a lot of fun.
anniversary this year.
Yeah,
What?
it does. It has an anniversary.
It's the
Yeah.
25th anniversary for the Fifth Element.
Well, all
This-
these movies.
Yeah, for all these movies, yeah.
I believe back in 2017, you can find it on YouTube. There's I think a screening where Chris Tucker, Mila Jovovich, and Luc Besson showed up, and they were talking a little bit about the film. But it's like a short thing, like an 8-minute, 10-minute thing though. So Chris Tucker still holds the film in high regard, along with Mila Jovovich and Luc Besson.
Very cool.
Bruce Willis at the time was nowhere to be found. It's understandable nowadays, of course, and whatnot. But I mean,
I don't know. Did he do interviews for Fifth Element?
Cool.
Not really, Bruce Willis. Not really.
Yeah.
Bruce Willis didn't do interviews for Mitch stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Just how Bruce Willis was.
We also have Liar Liar. That was another huge hit from '97.
I only saw that film one time.
Film. I love Liar Liar.
I only saw it one time. I would like to see it again. I remember enjoying it. I think I might have saw it back in the day on cable, on Showtime. I think I saw it. I liked it for what I saw. It was not bad. It was a good story. For what they had to tell about this kid that did this thing to his father. Make him keep a promise, and the lesson he learns at the end.
Entertaining comedy.
Good comedy too, you know, and stuff.
Definitely one of Jim Carrey's best roles.
I would probably like Bruce Almighty a little bit more. That's just me. I like Bruce Almighty a little bit more because that's almost the same type of story. A guy that's one way at the beginning, but then learns to become a better person at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost the same type of thing.
He's a workaholic.
Yeah. Exactly.
I prefer Liar Liar, I guess, because I found it to be funnier. But you know, I don't mind Bruce Almighty either. That's a pretty good one. Definitely better than Bruce Almighty 2, a sequel that pretty much nobody fucking remembers.
I saw that in the theater.
Evan Almighty.
Really?
Evan Almighty, yeah.
Evan Almighty?
Yeah. Well, my cousin wanted to see it. Well, you know, because my cousin, she wanted to see it, so I took her to see it because she likes Steve. I can't believe I forgot his name.
Steve Carell.
Steve Carell. I haven't seen him in a long time. I forgot his name. She likes Steve Carell, so she wanted to see the movie. And it was there, but I can understand why people don't like the film. It was just forgettable. I mean, you didn't do nothing with Evan besides the whole blah, 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 that scene makes me crack up to this day. I don't know why. I just wish I had that power with somebody. Blah, blah, blah,
With that,
Of course.
we're going to end the 97 stuff because we're about 5 minutes. For folks out there, I only want to do this 3 hours because it's a lot. You know, there's only so much energy. Plus, my phone has like 27%. So, I figured the last 5 minutes for folks out in the chat, we could take random questions.
Yeah.
For the last 5 minutes, that'd be a little fun. If anyone has any questions, feel free.
Yeah.
John Carpenter's The Thing, theaters in June. No, they don't have that stuff around here.
I might actually do it, but I'm trying to get my uncle to go with me because he's a fan of the film as well. He's the one to introduce me to the film.
You know what's crazy is
go check it out.
RoboCop just was screened at the Hollywood Theater, but I wasn't able. There was no way I would have been able to see it because it was scheduled on a day where I was working. So and it's also all the way over in Portland, and it was a super late night showing too, like at 9:30. So there was no way I would have been able to make it. But it wasn't 35 millimeter; it was just the 4K remaster. So
sometimes it's hard to do those late night screenings because that's sometimes when you get people coming to the theater. They're gonna get all stupid from the theater.
Yeah, that's like what happened when I was watching the double feature of A Nightmare on Elm Street and the sequel, where everyone was getting like drunk and obnoxious during Nightmare on Elm Street 2. Yeah.
This movie's dead. You start getting stupid shit like that. Especially if it's a film. What would you say is my favorite movie of all time? Okay, now
that's tough. I can't even say
all time?
All time.
All time. Okay.
All time.
Let's see. It can't be a specific year or decade, right? Like one film that's all time, really? Shit. All right, fuck it. I'll say it. I don't give a shit. I'll say it right here, right now. No bullshit.
Showgirls.
No. That's your favorite film. That's your favorite film, Showgirls. No. I got it. I'm gonna say it right here, right now. Predator 2.
Oh, good choice.
Predator 2. Predator 2. That's always the answer. Predator 2.
Good choice.
What's your favorite film of all time, Johnny? If you don't mind me asking.
Justin, we only got to as many as we could. There's just too many films. Perfect Blue, the anime, just wasn't for me. Good Will Hunting, we did mention that briefly. Robert Williams gave a wonderful performance.
Yeah, when he gets intense on fucking Matt Damon. Good scene.
Intense scene.
Yeah.
The Game, good David Fincher film. I like Michael Douglas.
I want to revisit it.
That was Michael Douglas yelling.
That was probably my mom laughing.
It's a woman's laugh.
Yeah, that was my mom.
She listening to us, man. That's why she's laughing.
No, she's just watching some show on TV.
Oh, okay.
She's got a really, really loud laugh. What happened to RoboCop Returns?
Good question.
The same thing that's happened to anything they've tried to do with RoboCop since the remake. It just remained grounded and offline. I remember reading something that it was one of those things where the studio MGM, and this is prior to them getting bought out by Sony, by the way. I mean, bought out by Amazon, because they were already bought out by Sony at that point. So they were pretty much doing the same thing that's happened with other RoboCop sequels. Like Orion didn't want to wait for Paul Verhoeven and didn't want to wait for the two writers, Michael Neumeier. No.
Ed Neumeier and
Michael
Miner.
Michael Miner.
Yeah, I think it was
didn't want to wait for them to finish their draft or their script for RoboCop 2, so they just had to fast track the sequel because Orion was bleeding money. So it's a similar sort of thing with MGM. They're bleeding money, and they're like, "Hey, Blomkamp, we need you to direct this film now." And he wasn't ready, and he didn't want things weren't really where he wanted them to be, so he left the project. And there's some other guy who's attached to it, but I don't think it's ever really going to happen. And Blomkamp then went off and did his horror sci-fi film that I've heard is really shitty. I forgot the name of it though. He did
I saw something pop up that disappeared.
Demonic.
I accidentally clicked on it.
Oh, it, okay. I wanted to see.
I think it's called Demonic. I think that's what it was.
I didn't see what the question was. There was something that popped up.
No, I accidentally clicked on it. I'm scrolling up.
Oh, you're scrolling up? Okay, my mistake. All right. My favorite. Oh, that's gonna start trouble. I'm gonna start. That's gonna start trouble. Okay, I'll start my least favorite. Here it goes. All three Nolan Batman films. That's right. I said it. I don't care for the films. If you love the films, that's fine. But I don't care for.
Too.
Well, your least favorites? Yeah, I do not care for those films at all. But the favorite, I would say Tim Burton's Batman, Batman Returns, and the new Batman. And also Batman Dark Knight Returns, the animated movies. Mm-hmm. That's my thing. Peter Weller. Great
My
movie.
least favorite Batman film is The Dark Knight Rises.
Okay.
I hate The Dark Knight Rises. Like, Batman and Robin is bad, but The Dark Knight Rises takes arguably my favorite story arc from the Batman comics, the Nightfall, Night's End saga, and just fucks it all up and does a shitty job with it. So that's why it's the worst Batman film for me. With, no, Batman.
What's your favorite?
What's your favorite?
Batman Returns, followed by Batman 89, and then the new Batman.
Yeah. How about you, Matt?
Dark Knight Pisses is my least favorite. Worst one.
Okay.
I hate all the Nolan Batman films. They all eat my ass.
Okay.
Except you do like Heath Ledger though.
Yeah.
Heath Ledger's not the problem. Heath Ledger's good in the role. It's just that I felt we needed a stronger Batman. I didn't find Christian Bale's Batman to be strong, which I know is gonna start shit. I can smell it now, but I didn't like the Batman. I mean, the Batman we got now, this Batman, he would fuck up Heath Ledger's Batman. This new Batman, he would catch him. And
you mean Christian Bale's Batman?
Yeah, I mean, I'm talking about the Batman we got now. Rob Pattinson,
Joker.
Yeah,
he would fuck up Heath Ledger's Joker, and I fucked up. I said Batman. It's getting late on my end. That's why it is. My brain ain't working.
I feel you.
But it's just me. It's just what. Heath Ledger is great in the role. I mean, I think people maybe maybe gave that film more of a pass because of him. That's just me, but he's great in the film.
Yeah, my favorite is Batman '89, and then The Batman, then Batman Returns.
There you go.
But with that said, thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you for having us on here, man. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. We'll see what happens. There's no planning. We will see with schedules and all that.
Let's do a virtual 5. I guess I go like this, so you guys put your hands up. Then we'll give each other 5 like this. Boom. There you go. That's it. Boom.
I'm late as usual. I have no rhythm. That's
me neither. I don't know. Just
I can't clap on cue.
We'll do a fist bump. Go boom. Like that. Boom. Like that. That's it. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed the retro. That's cool. Thank you, Pred Media. Good questions. Thank you.
But yeah, thank you guys for watching.
Thank you for tuning in.
And we will all see you guys down the road.
Yeah. Ciao. Buenas noches. Take it easy, guys. Later.